Hello, everybody, and welcome to Floating Fortress. Players, session 1 is today. How are you doing?
Hello, Neil. Yes, I'm doing good.
Doing good.
How are you?
Very good, very good. Are you ready to explore your classes and discover what the hell's going on with all this crazy stuff?
I've got so many questions. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm keen to find out.
I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
Well, where last we left, the party was standing near the ruins of Riven's home with a large door in the cliffside behind you.
Yes.
This just great gaping double door staring down at you. And there's a little bit of rubble that has come down from it that gives you like a bit of a pathway to walk up to it. It's not easy. It's not gentle. You're going to have to do a little bit of scrambling on rocks, but it's workable.
Okay. I will start scrambling up there. We see the big gate, right? Or big doors, I guess, not gate.
Yeah, double doors. What's the difference between a door and a gate, huh?
Right. I'll scramble up there, and I'll help anybody else who needs help out. Guys, is this what I think it is?
You know, I think I'm still sitting here holding my mother's body.
That's a
I
sensible
will
thing to do.
speak to. Wait, is Peachell's character Elijah or
That's
Yes,
me.
he's
I'm
Elijah.
Elijah.
and
Cedric.
Lucas? What's your character's name?
Cedric?
Cedric. I will turn to Cedric when he says that, and I'll say, "This is the moment. This is what our people have been waiting for. I think it is what we think it is. I think it's the door to the fortress."
I extend a hand out to help you up. Come on, Zephyr. This is your moment. You should open it.
I freeze for a moment, and I'm like, "Oh, I guess it is my moment." I'll walk up to the door. I'll scramble up, and I'll kind of glance over my shoulder, and I want to look back over the town because remember the town was kind of gathered around the rubble and stuff like that, and they're watching.
Yeah, from this ever so slightly elevated position, you do have a bit of a view of the town, and you can see that there are people coming from all parts of town to look at either the ruins of the town hall or coming up to where you are, where this collapse has happened and there's an obvious door. I'm sure not everybody can see all aspects, and people are probably hearing different things that have happened, and that meteor impact was large and obvious. So with your best judgment, it looks like most people are headed to the town square, to the town hall where the meteor landed.
Elijah, here. I hold out a hand for you to come up to.
I'm still
Come on.
perplexed by the newfound dexterity in me. Where are we going? What is? Fine. I take your hand.
I turn to Elijah, and I take out my sword in a theatrical fashion, and I hold it above my head. I said, "We're going to the future. To our future. We're changing the world. This is why we're here. This is why we survived." Why
I give a
you're here,
nod to
Elijah.
Riven.
We should open it together, all four of us.
I mean, I'm in a bit of a strange situation here. I look up at the three of you by the door, and you're looking at me. I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do. Is there anyone else around kind of like helping me now?
Yes. There are other people who have come here to search the rubble to find dead people. Folks who have family that love the Aknaran Horticultural Society.
Yes, good.
My dad's probably down
So you're
there.
not alone.
Okay, well, in that case then, looking up at Cedric offering his hand, I sort of have a moment dawn over me as I realise this is my calling as well. And I'll sort of scoot out from under my mother's body and like close her eyes. And I guess like kiss her head and whisper some words. And then sort of hold the hands of the people around me that were her friends and, you know, make reassuring statements to them like, you know, bury her and I've got no choice, I have to go. And then I'll leave them behind and walk up the stones to the door. That's what we're all here for.
when he reaches here, I'll reach forward and I'll place my hand sort of on his upper arm in a sort of comforting, friendly way. And I'll say, I know I'm probably the last person you want to talk to right now, but are you ready for this?
What is this? I don't even know what it is, but I've...
What I mean is, I'll glance back to where your mother was. I mean, like, do you need more time?
I turn back around and look over the town, and then look back to you and say, well, do we have more time?
My dad's sitting there crying over your mom.
I don't say anything, and I just nod, and I say, I was wrong about you. You are a hero.
I walk up to one of the doors.
You've got what heroes are made of. And then I'll turn, and I'll walk towards the door with Cedric.
Yeah, I'll take the right one, because I assume these are fucking massive doors. I'll put both hands on one, and I'll say, grab the other, Zephyr. Let's do it together.
All right,
Balancing yourself up on this gravelly, broken section is not terribly difficult, but it does require a little bit of effort. There's not like a nice, easy place to stand to access this. So you can get up there and hold these things, but your footing is a little tenuous.
Okay. I count us down.
3.
On 3.
2.
2. 1. Heave.
With a mighty heave, the doors stay shut.
With a mighty pull?
Damn. I
You
mean,
pull,
it's
and they hold.
Guys, it's looking like maybe this is not the way. It's a mighty foreboding, so maybe we should maybe go home. How about that, guys?
Maybe we all need to try it together, Elijah. And I walk up behind Zephyr and sort of like help grab her side of the door.
Yeah, come on, get over here, Elijah.
Elijah, destiny awaits. Come.
Wait, as we pull this door, Neil, okay, I just want you to know that I focus very intently on opening the door.
Excellent.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Elijah, come here.
Fine.
We need you, Elijah.
I join
So,
you.
is this 2 people on one door, 2 people on the other door?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it matter who's on which side?
Wait, yeah, it does. What's everyone's strength? Let's balance it out. I think I go with Cedric.
Well, no, I think this is the best because we have... Yeah, that's fine. You can come with me and he can go with him.
Because that's going to be the most average splitting of our
Okay.
strength, assuming we need to open both sides.
All right, 2 on one door, 2 on the other. Now with the whole party, everyone who has been impacted by these deities in a positive way.
And I'm concentrating really hard as well.
Yes, and you're thinking about it. You're concentrating.
thinking about it,
you give
yeah.
a nice strong pull, and the doors stay shut.
I knew that you were setting us up for that. Well, who's
The campaign's over.
Who's on which
I
handle?
don't know what the fuck that is.
Like it matters.
I say, destiny appears to have been
Delayed.
delayed. I'll start to investigate the doors. I'm like, is the rubble? Does the slit of the door go down below? Like, is there rubble in the way? Like,
No,
as in,
it comes down to a nice, like, small stone threshold at the base of the doors.
It's
What
just
about
like,
above?
the doors aren't blocked from opening by rubble or anything. Like, presumably,
Correct.
the doors are clear to open.
But if
Yes.
this rubble wasn't here, the door would just be in the middle of the wall, like 10 feet off the ground or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I place my hand on the door, and I'm just thinking. I'm going to spend the next few minutes really like in character and in game. Like I'm thinking about what is this door for and how do we open it.
Is there a slot for our rings?
No. There are no slots. There are no keyholes.
I tried pushing the door.
Finally, you give the door a
Really?
good push.
Yo.
It stays
Wait,
shut.
we said push
Oh,
and
fuck off.
That's fine.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable that you've just done
Insane.
that. That's crazy.
we said pull and push. This is some
You
Neil.
specifically said pull. I listened.
No,
is
but it's
some
still
Neil.
closed, right? It didn't work. You totally...
Still closed, yeah.
You baited me on that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good. Is the door made out of the same material as the cliff face?
No, it's not. The cliff is some sort of gray rock. If you had a dwarf here, they could probably tell you, or a stonemason, they could probably tell you what it is. But to
Yeah.
you guys, it's rock.
Mm-hmm.
The doors themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The doors themselves are made out of a different material. It's still in that grayish color, but it's a little bit more silvery. It doesn't quite feel like metal. It doesn't quite feel like stone as you run your hands across it. Like, I think when you first saw the doors, you had an opinion, but now that you're up here and you've got these handles and you can actually feel it. It has an unusual texture, and when you like wrap your knuckles against it, it's hard like stone or hard like metal, but it doesn't quite, especially Cedric, the sound of metal ringing on metal. Like, you can tap it and it doesn't have that same, nice echoey ringing sound, but it's also not completely dull like rock.
Is it just flat sheets? There's no markings or anything
They're
on the
handles.
door?
Yeah, as you look over it, you do see a marking. They're kind of faded. I shouldn't say faded. They're kind of obscured. The doorway itself looks like maybe it hasn't been fully cleared near the top. Like, there's nothing impacting the swinging of the door, but there does appear to be like some sort of archway or some sort of like framing, which might have symbols or writing or carvings along the side, but stone hasn't been pulled off of that entirely.
Okay.
So you guys really think this is from the stories? From the stories that my mom told me?
Is that so hard to believe after what's just happened?
I mean, I guess not. I mean, personally, I always believed in the fortress. I was always the one saying that, like, it's definitely out there. Now that it would be here, who could have known? Like, I kind of had a suspicion, but like, I don't. Like, there's a lot of people out there who were like, "Oh, it's just stories or whatever," and I was always like, "No, I don't know about that."
That's really prescient of you.
Yeah, so I think as a maybe not warden, right, but like honorary warden, I hold out the ring that my mom gave me. Maybe do you think this fortress is actually like ours?
And I gesture to the whole town. It's like, I am the inheritor of these secrets. But the society, is the inheritor of the fortress.
Right. And obviously, it would all go, like, you as the boss and everything, obviously, but, like, the wardens, like, you and maybe me to an extent.
The wardens are an extension of my role.
Would be, like, directly underneath as, like,
side
the
by side,
second,
Elijah, not underneath.
By your side, even. That's even, yeah.
Even
okay.
better.
That's pretty good. Neil, I just checked my spells, and I have some spells.
Yeah.
But there's no way for Elijah to know that he's currently capable of doing magic, right?
Well, it sounds like Elijah is confused and thinking about things, and as you focus on these things that are happening to you while you kind of like babble to these people, you do feel like you have there's like new senses that are popping up for you. There are 5 spells that you feel capable of casting. I don't think you're going to know what all of them are going to be until you actually practice with them for a little bit, but you have a sense. If you just read their names, those are sorts of things you feel you could do.
Burning spray.
Yeah.
That's me every time I go to the bathroom, baby.
You need
You need help.
a urologist, my
Yeah,
friend.
you need to go see a doctor.
You need a cleric of Martha.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay. Elijah's gonna be like, wait, guys. Ever since, you guys feel different too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking buff now. Look at me.
You are, and like, I just feel like I could. And he kind of extends his hand into the air. And a jet of searing flames shoots from his palm.
Oh,
Is
shit.
Yes.
maybe
jet of
not like that because you
searing
said
flame.
Yes.
You kind of extend your hand, and all of a sudden, fire shoots out of you, and you feel you have capacity to move your arm, in a direction, but not in a complex path.
Holy shit! God, I just.
Please roll me. Wait.
Wait,
Please roll me
okay.
1d3 plus 2 points of damage, and then make me a saving throw versus spell.
Wait, who?
Elijah.
Him.
Saving
God.
As you
1d3
expel fire,
plus-
1d3 plus 2. All right. Give me a saving throw versus spell. If you click on your token, this dude over here, you should just be able to click the save button and then the spell drop down. You do not pass your save. You will take 2 points of damage as
fuck?
fire springs forth from your hand, but it's fucking hot.
Ow!
And
What
it
the
hurts.
Fuck? Oh fuck! Did you guys just see that?
How did you do that?
I don't know. I just thought I could maybe. Can I do magic? Are we all magic now?
Can I do magic?
Maybe. Maybe it's only Elijah. Maybe it's some curse. Maybe it's a gift. Malchus's work, perhaps. Wait, do I remember Malchus?
Yeah, you remember
Okay.
Malchus.
He
Even
didn't
though
wipe- he
Martha
didn't wipe
very
our memories.
specifically said wipe your memories, he just gave you like a hand wave and a wink and then walked away.
Base.
I think it could be a gift from the gods. This is more evidence that we are chosen. We are chosen to change the world.
Why
the
the
time of
fuck
the
do we
Farron
get this
Empire is
door
now.
open?
Well-
Help me clear these stones. I start pulling away the stones that were blocking the runes on the archway now.
They are still attached. You're gonna need to get up here with some
Oh.
hammers and chisels and some scaffolding. It'll be a construction project to uncover those.
I
I
investigate
go
Elijah's wounds.
up to the
help
door.
him bandage and clean them. Just
Neil.
As you go to help him bandage and clean these wounds, you find that there's an instinct here as you hold onto his wounded hand, to just grasp onto it and tend to it, and a gentle blue light begins to extend from your hands onto his burned wounds.
What the fuck?
When it happens, I see the light coming, and instinctively, maybe a few seconds after it starts happening, and I feel whatever I feel, and I pull my hand back and look at it, and I'm like, what just happened?
Are my wounds better?
Nope.
Oh.
I reach back out and I do it again.
You can't recreate it. This just happened. This is so new.
I think we can all do. Fuck this fortress. We should go out and. Maybe that's why when we fought those goblins, I felt during that battle like there was something brave and magical, heroic about me. The way I fought. Did you guys see how I fought those goblins? That was crazy, right?
You did.
I mean, you
but
screamed far less than normal, yeah.
Elijah, I appreciate what you have to say, but the most important job that I have is to keep our secrets safe. And I turn and I look at the door. I say, if we can't get it open, we need to cover it up. We have to get the town together.
I mean,
The secrets cannot be revealed. It is the one thing, in addition to protecting the town, that I swore.
so
to
you want to
protect.
gather the whole town and tell everyone about the door?
I mean, most people have probably already seen it, right?
Did they not already see it?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of people down here
Yeah.
with you, looking up at you guys having this conversation. The door is visible from almost anywhere in town. Yeah.
And I was gonna say that was actually not a rhetorical question at all, because I'm just trying to get into your head right now and figure out your plan as the leader of this group. Because I actually think covering it up so that nobody else from outside can get to it, like if someone else goes into town, right, that hasn't already seen it, that's actually a really good idea.
Well, think about it. There are people from the Varasi Empire not too far from here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
An
true.
evil, bloodthirsty, warmongering empire. And if they were able to get their hands on whatever this door protects, it could spell the true Armageddon.
Zephyr,
So
I turn around.
we need to protect it from them.
That's a good point. What if somebody... We can't let word get out about this. They'll be here.
I mean, they're probably
Soon.
going to come anyways. The gods landed here.
Oh, shit.
You're right.
This whole town's going to become a spectacle of where the gods touch down.
Well,
I mean, they're probably going to make that, I pointed the town square, a holy site.
we
I didn't think of that. We need to work faster.
we need to get the door open. Maybe we can... Everyone will be
climb
safe
back
inside.
down.
Well-
I'm ignoring what people are saying. I climb back down, and I start like enlisting people. I'm like, anybody who has used a pickaxe before, has used a thing before, and I'm like, we need to get those rocks off the ruins. And I'm like, I just start like explaining the plan, putting together a team. It's like we need because we need to get the ruins off, and we also need to make sure that everyone in the town knows not to tell outsiders about the door. I start
Yeah.
just acting. I'm doing leadery things, protecting the secrets, all that stuff.
As Zephyr goes off to do that, Neil, I feel like I want to cast a spell as well. I can
Excellent.
feel it brimming within me.
Yes.
The almost electrical power of magic. And I think I want to
Yes.
try and cast... I hold my hand up and I stare at it. And it's like I can feel the electricity running through my blood and up my arm and gathering in my palm. And then
Yes.
I'll like clench my
But-
fist and open it and cast Shocking Grasp.
But to no avail. You have already cast Unseen Servant accidentally earlier in the day, and you are presently out of MP. I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to, as Jamie
Oh, shit.
is leading us through sort of gathering everything and sorting through everything, to talk a little bit about our abilities, because we're stepping into, not immediately handling the door. As you come down and as you move through the town to like get people to work on bringing this down, which is going to be a project. You're going to need to clear this other rubble. You're going to need to build scaffolding. You're going to need all these sort of different tools. You don't have a lot of stonemasons here. In fact, you have no stonemasons. So it's going to be a project that's going to take days to do properly, maybe even longer, depending on how hard this rock is to get through and what sort of resources you have. We're going to enter a bit of a slower period.
There's also like making sure that anyone in the town needs medical attention, getting a sort of census, who died, who lived,
Yeah, who died?
what happened.
Elijah will make sure very early for this process to get himself into a position with Zephyr where he can not have to do physical labor for this and like do some sort of administrative work. If you want, we
Badminton
can.
stuff
If
is
you
good,
think there'd
yeah.
be like conflict there, we can RP that. But otherwise, I think he's trying to get into a position somewhere below Zephyr where he's just doing like administration.
Nice. Slips into it like an old glove.
Yeah,
Well,
when I realize that Elijah is doing a lot, like when I'm telling people to do administrative tasks or stuff like that, Elijah is like springing to it, and he's like, I start assigning him. I recognize immediately that he's good at he's the banana counter, right?
Yep.
I start assigning him like a runner or two to gather intel for him, figure out like we need a census on the town, we need what supplies were destroyed, what thing was destroyed, just all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I start talking down to him a little bit, like he's my subordinate, just unintentionally.
And he completely just goes along, slips into that right perfectly, like is like yes ma'am, of course ma'am, and like very studious, tries to make a point that you see that he's like writing everything down and doing like lists and everything, and yep.
Nice.
You got to get all the skills of the different people, find out who might have experience with this, gather tools and supplies. Also, if you got a work crew, they need to be fed. You need to manage food, and you're going to need to manage some waste from all of these products. Like, yes.
A lot of logistics.
But
You
there's
fall
also the
into the
logistics of
logistics.
making sure that like letting the townspeople know that like we are the remnants of the Pharaoh Empire. We need to keep this secret safe. Do not tell outsiders about the stuff that's going on. We're trying to cover up where the gods landed. We build it like I'm like drawing up plans with the mayor. I'm like, we should put a little shrine there, but otherwise we just like we need to make sure that nobody can tell what happened here. And when people come, we just like, oh no, they didn't land here. We need to just lie. We need to hide everything.
I think I would have seen it if the gods landed here.
Exactly.
There's a destroyed town hall to rebuild. There's a huge crater to fill in. There's a lot. It's going to be a project. To get the whole town back into good condition is going to be weeks, maybe months of work. Rebuilding a
just need to
town
hide
hall is going to be,
Hide it as much as we can.
I would like to spend my time, unless Zephyr forces me not to, of clearing the rubble of our house and trying to recuperate some sorts of like emotional items and things like that were in the house that I'd want to either bury with Mother or just like keep for myself, as well as sort of like a token of what went before.
Yeah. And I imagine you're also going to have to mourn the loss of your mother, your last living relative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And my connection to Elfdom.
Yeah. So as we go into this period of time where we're covering up the truth, where we are the government with the conspiracy, let's talk about our abilities. So, sorcerers, you have MP. It is a quantity that regenerates at a rate of 2 per hour of rest or 6 per hour of sleep. You have 4 max MP at first level. Each of your first level spells takes 4 MP. So at first level, you can only cast 1 spell before you need to rest. You will gain more MP. You'll gain higher level spells. We'll get into some of those details a little bit more down the road. But 2 hours of rest will give you back 4 MP to cast 1 spell. Those of you that are cleric pilled, I have DM'd you links to your spells. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at this point in time. Yours come in a variety of things. You've got blessings, which are literally at-will powers.
Yep.
There's no limit to them. Chants, which are things that happen so long as you channel them, as long as they're songs or odes or hymns or chants of some kind. You can still act while doing them. You can still do all sorts of stuff. You can continue to fight in combat. So if you have a chant that grants a -1 to saving throw to all creatures within your aura, we'll talk about aura in just a moment, you can chant this while entering combat or while walking around. You can't like run because you have to chant, and you can't properly sing or keep a rhythm going while you're running or jogging. But you could, participate in combat meaningfully. I'm going to send you both a link to these rules as well.
So just to clarify there, like if I'm singing a chant, I can fight?
You can fight. You can't carry conversations, but you can fight. Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome.
Consecrations are small magic items that you can make. They will retain their power for a listed amount of time, and then they will continue to retain that power for as long as that item is properly worshipped. So, for example, our Cleric of Martha has a fertility totem. This is a small totem that you can make over the course of a day with your holy symbol, oil, and incense. And when it is properly maintained and placed in a bedroom, it can increase or decrease the fertility of actions taken within its presence.
Question on that. Does it work in a room other than the bedroom, or does it have to be in the bedroom?
I don't think that a bedroom is a magical concept.
Okay.
I was just, running with some norms.
Okay, cool.
And if you maintain the little fertility totem, which could look like a little statue of Martha, or maybe like a pair of birds or a pair of bunnies or something, it'll maintain its duration in theory indefinitely. But
so as long as someone worships it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't need huge worship, but it just needs to be maintained as a shrine and as a sacred spot where in the morning you say a little prayer and you make sure it's dusted off and you give it the attention and devotion that it needs.
Got it.
And that can be maintained by the people who made it. The cleric doesn't have to do that.
The people who are using
so if
it,
I make a fertility totem for a couple and they maintain it and everything,
then they're just good to go. Yeah.
Cool.
Your fertility totem also is invertible. It's a separate item, but it would be an infertility totem. Yeah.
They can't tell, can they?
No, they would come to you and be like, "Hey, I want this," and then you'd make the appropriate thing for them. But you could lie. Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking, because if you're a Cleric of Martha, what if you see someone who isn't gonna have a proper home? Would you make an infertility totem because this
that's
isn't a good
eugenics,
family?
bro. No,
I don't
that's
know.
not
I'm asking questions here. Okay.
You can
for you to
do
decide.
with these powers what you will.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. I'm just thinking about it.
We'll get to miracles and wards when they come up, but they haven't come up yet. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I can do these as many times a day I want. So if I was a Cleric of Martha and I just wanted to help the whole fucking town, I could just cure light wounds everybody once a day.
Yes.
Cool.
So healing in particular, there's treat wounds, which all clerics get. So both of you have it. And there's cure light wounds, which only the Cleric of Martha gets.
Yeah.
Treat wounds is a slow heal. If someone is unconscious, you can bring them back to 1 HP. If they are conscious but wounded, you can restore up to 1d4 HP, but it takes you only heal at a rate of 1 HP per 10 minutes. So it's a very slow heal. It's not an in combat. It's I'm going to tend to the people in the town and gently restore them.
So him holding his hand, because he didn't have it there for 10 minutes, he didn't get the
didn't restore any HP. Right. However, this ability also you can only benefit from this ability once per day. So he tried and then stopped the healing, and now until the next
sunrise.
Day. Yeah, until the next sunrise.
So it's not that you can only do it once per day, it's that each person can only receive it once per day.
Correct. So he can, in theory, can restore 1d4 HP to everybody as long as they're conscious once a day.
Interesting.
The Cleric of Martha has a much more powerful version. It does 1 HP per round instead of per turn. And unconscious creatures can be brought back to D4. Conscious creatures can be brought to D8. You'd roll the D8 and then you could, heal up to that amount. And if someone is missing less than 25% of their total HP, you can restore up to 2d8 healing. So if you've got, 40 hit points and you're only missing 10, that's 25%. You could restore up to 2d8 of that 10.
Interesting. So less than 25%, not more than.
Correct. You heal more effectively when they're missing a smaller fraction of their hit points.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Oh,
These are your spells and abilities. You will get more. We're going to slow roll how all of this stuff works because there's a lot and it's all new to you and it's kind of new to me. And we'll explain the abilities as they come along. The other thing for our sorcerers that you're going to notice very quickly is you need a lot of freedom to cast these things. Wearing a tight belt will sort of squeeze you energetically and prevent you from doing these things. Being hugged tightly by another person would also interrupt your ability to cast these things. There's no rule against you wearing armor. You can put on armor, but it's going to restrict you. Even Elijah's normal clothing is maybe a little bit too tight for him, but that scramble up the cliff sort of loosened things a little bit, and he was able to get off a burning spray spell. But you're going to need to probably change into some other clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to get a second pair of clothes that is a little bit lighter and looser. Luckily, you are in a town that has wardens. There are some ceremonial warden robes that are red in color that they can just loan you until you find whatever clothes you want that are a little bit looser and lighter and easier to wear. And then we can, change your aesthetic. But in the meantime, you can wear those if you want to cast your spells, or you can wear your previous clothes, which might infringe upon your spell casting.
Okay.
Does that go for me as well, Neil, or am I all right how I'm dressed?
Nope, that goes for you as well. Your normal form of dress is very light and loose, though.
Yeah,
you,
I've got
you
pants
wear
on
these
though, is that all right?
poofy pants are fine as long as you don't have a tight belt, and as long as they're not skinny jeans. Skinny jeans would block your spell casting, but loose, or
yeah, fine. Well, I ditched my armor then. I don't want that.
Ditched.
Yeah, I guess. How much do I intrinsically know about the MP recovery?
You'll figure it out within a day or two.
Because it probably makes sense to rest and then cast Unseen Servant to help with the house, but I think I'm just going to spend my time on the house rather than resting. I'll learn that, I guess, when I wake up.
Well, you already have Unseen Servant going. You cast it last session by accident.
Oh, it's still on?
It lasts for an hour plus 1 turn per level.
Okay, well, I guess I start levitating the rocks away from the house as if, I guess that's how everyone else sees it.
Yeah. You can push...
Get back
you can
in.
carry up to 20 pounds or push or pull 40. So it'll help a little bit, but it's not going to be more powerful. Someone with more than 8 strength would do a better job.
I'm sure the Horticultural Society will help me.
Yes.
As I try to unveil its treasures.
All right, party. Now is a time for joy and excitement, and also a time for sadness and mourning, and also a time for danger and being aware of these things. overseer, you said you wanted to get everyone to like hide these things, to cover everything up, but you also said you wanted to excavate the door a little bit more to be able to see all the signs and sigils around it.
Yeah, so the basic idea is we want to try to make it. This is tough because what I want to do is it depends on. So here's what I'm thinking. People are going to come here, and we don't want them to know about that door. So it depends on how big of a job it is to like knock it all down. If we can't really get it all knocked down, then our best bet is to try and cover up the wall by building some sort of temporary encampment there or something, right? Building something that hides it, right?
But if you do knock it down, are you going to leave the door in the mountainside?
How do you mean?
Like if you can knock down that extra stuff that's covering what looks to be the door frame, then what? You're just going to leave it knocked down?
Okay, so
if you want to hide it, doesn't it need to be covered in some way? Is what I'm asking.
There's two separate things that I wanted to do. As I wanted to get a team of people to like assess like how quickly do you think you could get all the rock knocked down around the door? How big is the door? How long would that take? And the second thing is we need to come up with a way to actually like hide the door so people can't see it and find it. Those are like two separate tasks. And if the knocking down of the rock makes hiding the door harder, we need to like prioritize hiding it first, and then we have time to study the secret.
Got it. I understand. Knocking down the rock will not make the door any harder to hide. It's already, 15, 20 feet up from what was flat ground before and in the side of the wall. So removing an extra foot of rock or 2 feet of rock is not going to make a difference. It's already going to be a big task. When it comes to hiding it, there's not a lot of options. You can like put a sheet over it or some sort of fabric that you hang, like maybe a big banner that hangs against the wall, or you could build a structure in front of it, or you could try to like brick up the wall and then use some sort of cement or plaster or concrete to hide the cracks, and then just like hope no one notices.
I think I would go. I think I would. I think what I would do is I would consult with A, the party, and B, the what is that character's name?
The Armator.
The Armator. Yeah, I would consult with the Armator and I would consult with the party. So which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the party.
So I imagine it's one of the times that we're doing our rounds, we're setting up for our tasks for the day, and I say, maybe it's a couple of days after, who knows exactly when it is, and I say to the party, was like, we need to find a way to cover up the door, to hide it, so that we have more time to study it. Who's
open the
been
door
working on the
first?
door?
I've been working with people to clear the rubble so that we can build the scaffolding to knock down the stuff at the top.
Okay. I'll turn to Riven. I'll say, Riven, what have you been working on?
I've been clearing out my old house, finding my mother's things, getting ready for the funeral. I was thinking about whether some of our magic maybe could open the door. Maybe that's why we've been given it.
That's true. It's a good point. What would you suggest we try?
Well, I was too tired earlier today, but now I've had a chance to rest. I do have one spell that maybe might work. We can go try it now, if you want.
Yeah. I'll turn to Elijah and I'll say, one moment. Elijah, you've been working on the administrative tasks that I've given you?
Absolutely. And he holds up a bunch of papers. So we've been moving people from the west side of the town, where like a lot of the food supplies were gathered, to the center to distribute that better. Then there was a problem with some of the candied cherries that were not coming through properly, but I got someone below. So the problem was more that the person that not I recruited, but they kind of messed it up a little bit, so I had to kind of clean that up. So we're a little bit behind on the waste management on the east side, but otherwise things are going great.
Awesome. Is the census completed? Do we know how many we lost?
Well, I mean, we've been looking into that, and it seems as if though there's in terms of losses, like we haven't been able to completely catch up because I had a guy, but I'm getting that list later in the day actually. Yeah.
Okay, I'll nod. I'll say, keep up the good work. Okay, morning business taken care of. Let's go deal with, or afternoon business taken care of. Let's go deal with the door. I've actually been thinking about this myself.
As we walk to the door, I say to you, why are you having Elijah work out who's died? He's literally only just got here. He doesn't know anyone who lives here. Shouldn't me or Cedric be doing it, or somebody else?
You have the loss is more personal for you.
That's true.
Cedric, well, I mean, look at Cedric. He's practically made of muscles.
You see him moving like a boulder, just on his own.
Just for fun.
Elijah has the organizational skills to take on this kind of a task. He's been working with the runners I assigned him. And I've also been giving thought to whether or not we need to get new wardens, since we're missing a few.
Sure is awful important, Zephyr. You seem to be really on top of things as we walk up the remaining bits of the gravel to go up to the door, Neil.
I don't feel like I'm on top of things, but thank you.
The door itself is made out of some metally rock with like a blue sheen.
Gray, silvery, something like that.
I can.
And the archway that has the runes is made out of the same metal or not?
Same substance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to repeat what I did earlier when I didn't have the magic power, which I'm assuming now it's been a day or something. I've got some back. I'm going to try and cast Shocking Grasp. So I open my fist up and it sparkles with electricity. And this probably isn't going to work, but I try Shocking, and I'm not sure whether to do the door or the runes. In theory, I might need to try both. I think I just start with the runes.
Okay. So to get to the ruins, this will have to be a few days later because they'll need to be uncovered and a proper scaffolding built so you could reach them.
I thought that I could see most of them, but I just couldn't see the bottom bit.
But the doors are like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And, you're only... and it's unsteady ground where you're on, so like being able to jump and touch the runes on the top of the door frame would be exceedingly risky and dangerous. If they do, they haven't been uncovered yet.
Well, I'm imagining, sorry to labor the point, I'm imagining they're shaped as a doorway, and maybe the bottom 10% is covered by stone still. But, like maybe 2 feet from where they start, it would be within reaching distance and just right there.
I might not be communicating correctly the nature of the frame then. Let's see. Let's do a little doodle.
Let's doodle. I'm ready to doodle.
Doorway.
I mean, I can reach the door, right?
Yeah, you can get up to the door. Okay, so in the lower left of this map, we've got a little bit of a doodle. Now, this is what you anticipate the frame to look like when it's fully cleared. Where you are presently, I'm going to do some gray lines to indicate the rest of the stone around it.
Okay, so can I not touch like this bit?
Yeah, so if you wanted to like reach and kind of touch something over here, you could, but it's not going to be like fully uncovered. It's still going to be connected to the rest of the rock. But you could still reach out and touch that section of frame if you wanted. Totally. You got a spell. You can touch whatever. Yeah, you can touch away.
That's why I touch the frame. The runes light up. They go.
On
It'll
the
turn
right
blue.
side, the left side, the top. Be descriptive, you know?
Yeah,
don't,
no,
don't
here.
let me
This
decide where
specific
you're
bit,
touching.
I'm stood, right? Okay.
I can't see what you're...
I'm stood here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna touch this bit.
Perfect. Excellent.
That's the explosive rune. No, I'm just kidding.
You reach out with your shocking grasp,
Yes.
put your hand against the wall, and you still feel, energy flowing through you. You still feel this tingling sensation up and down your arm. It does not discharge upon the rock.
I try on the door then.
You grasp the handle, both handles, no effect.
Shit.
Can I?
I guess
like,
it didn't.
try
I guess
to
it didn't work.
Can I try to detect magic? Is that something that I've learned how to do and figure out? I'm trying to understand this door now that we're here.
Yes. Cleric detect magic is an interesting thing. At first level, you can detect overwhelming magic if you hold it in your hand for 1 minute or at a range of 5 feet by inspecting and feeling if you concentrate for 10 minutes. So you come up to this door and tell me how it is. Are you holding onto the door? Are you standing a few feet away? How is it that you're trying to detect this magic as you're, becoming aware of your abilities?
I think it's kind of the way I described it the first time. It's like I'm standing at the center of the door. I have both of my hands on it, and I'm just thinking, and I'm trying to understand what the hell is this door? What is happening? What is the magical? What is this? Like it's a puzzle I can't figure out. So I'm just standing there trying to detect what the hell it is and come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
While he does that, the parts of the runes that we can see that are exposed, do they look to be in a script that I would recognize or not? Or is it too small
No.
to tell?
It's either too small to tell or it's an unidentifiable script.
Okay.
Perhaps with more stone removal, more time, you'd be able to get some answers.
Leaving...
Jamie, Overseer, you do not feel any magic coming from here, but you're very new to sensing magic, and at best you would only be able to sense overwhelming magic at your present level.
Yeah, I sigh, and I'm like, I don't know what we do with this door. We need to cover it up. We need to buy time to study it and understand it. We need to hide it.
I'm going to study it in a different way. I'm going to study it at about 5 feet, and I'm going to inspect not only the door, but also like the arches that Riven was inspecting. And I'll spend 10 minutes there studying.
Yeah, you from a slightly different position, a little bit lower on the incline, gazing at the whole thing, viewing it all, searching your feelings for what could possibly be behind this wall, and yet you do not sense the presence of external magic.
Okay.
Feeling a bit disappointed, I guess, that my spell didn't work. I walk away from the door, presumably with the others, and I say, I guess we should get back to work then.
Yeah, well, first, we need to come up with a way to hide the door. People are going to be coming this way. I mean, we've done our best to hide the impact and the deaths and the other stuff, but we can't have people discovering the secrets of the Pharaoh Empire. If this is indeed the entrance to the floating fortress, we have no idea what it is capable of. And imagine that in the hands of someone who wished nothing but to dominate the world.
I agree, wholeheartedly, but as I look across the town, there's no way the town hall's been fixed yet, right?
No way. It'll take weeks or months to fill in the crater and rebuild the town hall. Probably months to rebuild.
It's going to take weeks before we can cover up the debris of what happened. If we can't get the door open by then, maybe then we can think about covering it. But right now, even if we could cover the door, they're still going to know something happened.
Should we inspect the rest of the island, us? Maybe something else changed here.
Yeah, we should be going out on patrols.
Wait, maybe. Yeah, maybe we should do a loop around the mesa.
Let's set up
See
a
if
patrol
there's
for
another
this
door.
evening.
Okay.
We'll do another few patrols, and then we'll focus on uncovering the ruins and trying to understand the door.
Okay.
You're right. We probably can't cover it up before people get here. We need to understand it.
Well, what do we
There's
do
a
when
lot
they
of-
turn up, though? Guess there's not much
We
we can do.
survive. We survive, we lie, we say it's always been there. Oh, that old door has always been there. That's the old...
that door. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't know what door you meant. You mean the 20-foot giant door in the middle of the cliff face? Yeah. Oh, obviously, yeah, we know about that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come
just
up with a
over there.
plan.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done, but the four of you are not critical to actually filling in holes or building infrastructure to hide this door. As the overseer said, the four of you might be useful at searching the rest of the island. As Riven said, maybe there are other doors. Maybe this same event has unveiled other things. So we're going to take our first break here. We're going to end the day here in game, because it's been a big day, the big event. Riven, your mother literally just died, and I know you're kind of feeling like this is your purpose, maybe, or this is what you were here for. But like your mother literally did just die. You should probably grieve a little bit.
Absolutely.
And when we come back from our break, we'll see what else is going on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Floating Fortress. There has been a lot of death and destruction since this big event. There's people still unfound in the rubble underneath the Aknaran Horticultural Society. There's those who died in the town hall crater and impact. There's people who are maybe out in the forest doing their work, or out on boats doing their work, or maybe even doing a day trip to another island nearby who haven't come back yet. And it can be hard to count all of the dead and missing until everyone has returned home and we know who's vaporized and who's just picking mushrooms in the forest. Yeah. But in the meantime, those who have been recovered or gathered can be properly buried. Party, this map doesn't have a graveyard. So tell me, where is the graveyard? Is it in town and just not marked here? Is it off one of these roads somewhere outside of town? Where's
the nearest chapel?
Dead?
Wait, we would put them in the graveyard, wouldn't we?
That's what I'm asking now. Where do you currently have your graveyard?
Oh, it's got to be over here then, right? It's got to be near the chapel.
That's a good point. I think also there might be different traditions. Like some people might want to be buried on their own land. It really depends on what the general wishes is. But I imagine there are like a couple of like family plots. Like that's pretty traditional. So you have like a plot where everyone has been buried. So yeah, I would guess that the...
Well, I would just make like this over here, the cemetery. You can make an entrance like here.
Okay. Yeah.
I like
pretty
that.
big.
Depending on how that looks. Yeah.
Entrance to the temple.
Yeah, another entrance to the temple.
I think that Riven and my mother would have buried my father out in the wilderness somewhere on the island, like just a nice spot in nature where we kind of enjoyed as a family. Maybe there's a little waterfall, a little grove, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that I immediately go and do that, but I want to make plans to take my mother's body out there and bury it there next to my father.
That is lovely, and absolutely what you should do. On the little mini map down here, knowing that you can do the whole island in about a day. Whereabouts do you think? How far away from town? Is it about how far?
It's probably
would you
not
bury
too
them
far
on the other side if that was the nicest spot, or would you bury them like in a close spot?
Yeah, no, I actually think it would be... I mean, I traverse the island a lot with my family, so I don't think there would be any fear of it having to be near town. I think it's probably on one of these peninsulas near this lake, like out here, somewhere like that, maybe in a grove there.
Okay. Yeah, there are some really nice spots out there. You said near a waterfall?
Yeah.
Near some movement of water?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple of creeks that lead into the lake. And then the lake has a singular creek that spits out into the water, into the ocean, like right here on this little short path.
Yeah, so maybe it's actually maybe it's on the other side of the, like here, like then I guess where some water comes comes down off the mountains into the water. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So I'll probably ask Cedric and his father to help me with that, and probably might need one or two other people as well just to carry the body and help dig the grave.
Well, I think everyone's going to bury the folks who are being buried here in town first, and then another day, the next day, they can haul the corpse before it begins to smell too much, because that scent does start to creep in quickly.
Yeah, well, I will have gathered a lot of flowers from the, like our garden. So I'll have probably got her on like a bit of a bed of flowers at the moment to try and like cover any bad smell.
Wow. All right. Well, party, we can say our words, we can say our goodbyes. Elijah, how do you feel about attending the funerals of people who you've never met, but everyone tells you it's part of your home and these are your people now?
He would rather not. It's a lot of emotional work. To, pretend to care. But also, he doesn't just pretend to care here. Like, he is kind of starting to feel this sense of community in this town, that's starting to get to him. Not quite to the point of, like, he's into it, but he's noticing this, like, holy shit, there's this huge disaster that's happened. If this happened back in Just Stars Bay, everyone would have been everyone for themselves, and leadership would change and all that, and like nobody really knows what. But here it's like everyone's lockstep, working together, helping each other out, and he doesn't hate this. Like, he would rather be at this funeral than be at home.
Right.
Nice.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Are we using this as like a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing, where we need to go around the island, but we also need to bury your mom?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Maybe you're
that
not.
feels like a little bit disrespectful. Yeah.
Well, that was what I was thinking, but
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of what Cedric's thinking as we're traversing the island. He's kind of like, it's kind of a 2 birds, 1 stone thing, He's not gonna tell people that, but like,
Yeah,
we're going here, we're burying his dad or his mom near his dad, and we're gonna keep an eye out on it. If there's any changes, it gets us a good lay of the land, anyways. So
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
So we can go and you guys can do a bit of a recce on the way, but I'll be focused on obviously the funeral.
over the past few days, I've been praying a little bit. Do I feel a connection to a certain deity now? How is that kind of working? Yeah.
This is one of our interesting points here, is that you are clearly drawing this magic from somewhere. And it definitely feels like it has a flavor of protection and healing and creation. But you don't actually have to worship a goddess to make it happen. Like, you have no inherent obligation with these powers. They've just been sort of thrust upon you.
Interesting.
Yeah. If
Anton would have loved this.
Yeah, I this might be the sort of thing, you tell me, where your character could be like, you know what, I'm going to see if I can heal this person while saying, like, Martha's a son of a whore, and you could say all sorts of terrible things. Is that what you might try?
No.
Just as like a curiosity? No.
No, I wouldn't.
You would intentionally blaspheme just to see if you could get away with it?
No, I think what instead he's doing is he's probably, like, reaching out each night to a different god of, like, the protection sphere, and it's just like, am I yours? Like, did you save me and my friends? It's very, like, him focused right now, of where he's like, well, of course they chose to save me, right? He'll also kind of come to some introspection of like, well, did you save us? So I guess he'll start out with his quote-unquote god, which is Falumbra, and he'll reach out to her the first night, and then he'll kind of go down the list from major to minor. Probably not reaching out, I guess, praying to Martha. I mean, he met her, but he knows that she's not in the sky, so, actually, maybe his connection will be easier to hit.
Yeah. Well, there are like 28 deities total, so it'll take you a while to hit all of them. Why don't we check in from time to time, and we'll see if we get anyone. I'll make some die rolls and figure out when the critical ones come up to play.
Natural 20 on the first.
And as we discussed before, you trust me enough to just roll all my dice off screen, which is way easier and faster and more fun. Great.
I feel like during this time, Elijah wouldn't have been alone in his discovery of his magical powers, because he's trying some stuff out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he has this feeling of what he can do, but he also knows that like we were all in this kind of together, and everyone else kind of. So he probably tries to make a point of like, let's discover kind of our powers, you know, or like let's at least talk about. I think he would definitely talk about it with Riven and probably with Cedric as well. Do you guys think that there would be like we would have like a regular meetup here, or would we have like maybe one night where we all kind of try stuff out? How do you guys see this going with your characters?
Well, I think we're friends, right? I mean, I think we'd be seeing each other every evening to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be pretty focused on the leadership of the town, the administration, and like in the evening when we're hanging out. Let's say we go to the bar. Let's say we become regulars at the tavern. You know, by that point, I don't even know if I'm ready to talk about the fact that I have powers. I'm just so focused on like protecting the town, making sure people are okay, getting the list of confirmed missing and dead, trying to arrange people to go out into the wilderness to scout, and you know, yeah, that's kind of where my character's head's at.
Yeah, what's the vibe been like in the town? I mean, people at least saw me lifting rocks. Some people probably would have seen Elijah shoot flames out of his palm. Are we being asked about this?
Not initially. Initially, you're kind of going about all these things. It's a bit of a panic. There's lots of stuff going on. You know, it's a crazy time. And it takes a couple of days. And we've really only been hanging out in the first day, so we didn't talk to this. But as the days begin to roll by, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about what happens in the days that roll by until the days have rolled by.
Yeah.
I think this is still the first night, and the four of you are clearly in the middle of something, and everyone else is super busy with the, you know, covering up things and filling in holes and burying bodies. So we're on the next morning as these other funerals are happening. People are generally treating you like normal-ish, except for your families. And
They're going to worship us.
Close family here is Cedric, and your mom is just beaming at, look at her big, strong, beautiful boy. Like, look at how big he's grown up. He's going to be the best smith in town. With all of this strength, he's going to make us a fucking fortune. He's going to do, and he's a warden. Like, he is coming up. Like, this is everything that she had hoped for. This is everything. You are everything she wished her husband
I'd have
was.
a quick chat with her about how the gods, you know, last night blessed me. It's probably it would be like the night before he went to bed, and he is going to explain to her. And is she injured at all?
No, she was not injured.
You know, the next day he'll take her out and show her his magical abilities and show her that he can cure light wounds and actually like heal people, and that one of the gods saved them, and kind of explain to her what happened.
Well, yes, this is clearly a gift that you've been given.
Well, you're not understanding. The gods, they came down on their comet and landed right on top of us.
And they killed at least 20 people in the process.
I know, yeah.
You've been given a great gift, Cedric. And I think it'll put you in a great spot to be a wonderful leader of Aknara for decades to come.
All right, Mom, yeah.
What do you mean? Don't give me that look. What's that supposed to mean?
I think I'm for more than this, you know, just than sticking around here at this point. Like, they obviously gave me a gift. They probably want me out there.
And who's going to run the shop? I can't wield a hammer. You're just going to let your father and I just, be alone with no children? You're going to run off into the big world?
Play.
I mean, we could hire people, right?
With what money? You're just going to bring new people into the town now that all this crazy stuff is going on? Now there's a giant door? Who could we hire to replace you?
Yeah, you're right.
Your job is here. Your position is here.
My position and my place are here. You're right.
And you know what? Everyone has these big feelings at some point in their life that, you know, we're meant for more. And we all always have to remember that stability is the source of comfort and joy. You know, having a place that you can call your own, that you can rely on, people that have your back, people who know who you are and where you came from and actually care about you. That's what's important. That's what you find here at home.
Yes, yes, Mom.
Good. She says, pleased.
Good.
What about you, Zephyr? You still have family in town, right? Your mom is still around. Didn't she intentionally find an elven
Half-elf.
father with you because she thought that you were going to be some great something or other?
Yeah, for sure.
How does that
still
conversation go?
That's an interesting one. I imagine maybe. So how much time has passed since the
Well, let's just say
Comet
this
Day?
that night, Comet Day night. What-
Yeah, I guess
what is
Comet
that
Day
like?
night. I would probably stay out late working, organizing, making sure people, were people who need healing are attended to, all that sort of stuff. And I suppose I would get home pretty late. And maybe my mom came to me at some point in the day and I brushed her off. Like, Mom, I gotta help. I gotta organize.
Yep. And she was happy to give you space. You're coming into your own, exactly what she wanted. But now, when you come home at night, you can find that the house has been cleared, that everything is put away nice and tidily. And on the kitchen table are a pair of statues, a pair of small deity idols that she has placed there, one for Martha and one for Malchus. And before the table is a small ceremonial prayer rug and a couple of candles that have been lit around. And you come in, she gets up from another spot somewhere else in the room and hurries to the front door as you see this, transformation of your parlor.
It's like, what have you?
I
day.
knew it. I knew that my daughter was going to be destined for something greater. I called it. I called it years ago. Your grandfather didn't believe me, but I knew it. I always knew it, Zephyr.
I wish being right was more comforting. It doesn't feel. There was nothing left of them, Mom, when it landed.
Don't worry
I-
about them. It's fine. There's always
I
casualties.
saw them disappear.
She brushes
It's
it
not-
off. There are going to be a lot more people who die before everything's over and done with. You're going
don't
to
want
be a
people to die.
great leader.
I don't want people to die.
Well, you need to toughen up. You're the overseer. You're going to send people to their death. People who are under your command will die because of things you tell them to do. You need a
No.
bigger backbone.
I'll do everything I can to keep them alive. I don't want blood on my hands. I already feel like
Good.
I have blood on my hands.
Good. Good. That's the right attitude. You're here to protect us. You're here to protect these secrets. You should try to save everyone that you can. But remember the big picture.
She's talking to me. It's like,
Remember the big picture, Zephyr.
I know about the big picture.
You know
Always
those
the
two
big
gods?
picture. What about like am I not allowed to have a life? What
What
what is gonna happen
Do you
to
know
this
how
village?
many people would love a life like yours, destined for something greater? You're too important. This is too important for you to sit around and what? Play with sticks? Plant flowers? What, do you want to be like Riven? You're too
You're right, Mom.
important.
I know, it's just
Those two deities right there on the table, they unveiled your destiny. That door is your future. You should
I know.
thank them.
I know, I believe you, but it's not always easy. I don't
Well, cry me a fucking river. You're the overseer now. You don't have time to deal with easy, hard blood on your hands. There's too much going on. You need to toughen up.
I am tough enough. I thought
Are
this was
you?
meant to be somewhere I could be safe. Instead, I come home after spending a day with blood and rubble and guts in my hands, and all I get is criticism from you again.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm trying to shape you into the woman you are supposed to be.
I get a say in who I'm supposed to be.
We have a destiny. You can't run from it. When you align with your destiny, everything will fall into place.
I know. I don't want a destiny. I just want to help people. I just want to keep people safe. I swore to those two, I point at the two statues, and the others, that I would keep everyone safe. I swore to grandfather. I swore to your dad that I would keep everyone safe, and that's what I will do. But I don't know if I can do the destiny stuff. Not right now. I need to focus on what's in front of me. The bigger picture, I don't see it right now because I can't open that door.
One step at a time. You can do it. You were born for it. This isn't a problem that's beyond you. You can manage this.
I know I can. It's just...
You've got wardens. You've got me. You've got Cassia, the Armator. You have the tools that you need. All you have to do is reach out and handle it.
We have each other. We have all of us. We have a legacy of Farron. And it brings me comfort. I think we might be able to find him, Mom. If that door really is what we think it is, maybe we can find him and bring him back. And fix all the things that the Verasi have done. Get rid of the, you know...
Good.
Maybe we could free Dad, you know? They've surrounded that forest for so long. Maybe we could let him out. Or maybe I could meet him. I think that would be... I'll kind of like stand up. I think we've got stuff that's worth fighting for. And I'll just say, but I've had a long day. Can we just pray and go to bed?
As long as you say your prayers, you're dismissed for the night. I've made dinner, set it aside. Wash up, say your prayers, eat, and you can rest.
I know I'm a half-elf, but I'm not a kid.
You're always going to be my daughter. I brought you into this world, Riven.
You're not taking me out, old lady.
No,
I
I
laugh
brought you
and
here.
I give my mom a hug and I kiss her on the forehead and I say, look, I know you want what's best for me. It's just, I am going to be my own person. We're not always going to get see eye to eye.
She understands. She nods. I get it. I get it. But I'm always going to encourage you. I'm not going to let you fall apart. I'm not going to let you be a slacker. Not like those
more
other
like
kids.
Criticize me, and I roll my eyes at her.
She sighs. And I think that's probably it for the two of you for tonight.
Perfect.
But the party does get back together the next day. The funerals are had for the bodies that are found. And everyone gets back to work after the funerals in the morning to fill in holes, tear down rocks. People are talking about how they might create some sort of cover. Ideas are being passed around. But the four of you gather because Riven's mother needs to be taken to the other side of the island. And also wardens are missing. And there's things to do. And it's just, there's a lot of irons in the fire right now.
Yeah.
A lot of irons. Riven, how are you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think like after everyone left the bar last night to go home, I went back to the Horticultural Society. How, you know, when the rocks collapsed, did it also completely destroy the house, or like is it still sort of structurally sound? So if I can find a way in, I can still kind of move around a little bit inside.
part of the house is overrun and collapsed, and part of it remains standing. So the front house half of the house is still standing. The back half is ruined. Your bedroom gone, but like you could curl up on the parlor floor, on all your soft furs and blankets.
I've made like a little stretcher, if I can, with like some fabric and some sticks, and I've got the body on there. And I've been gathering flowers from the garden and placing that on the stretcher surrounding the body. And I've also salvaged some items from within the house that belong to my mother and father, and I'm placing them like around the body as well to kind of get it ready to go to the grave tomorrow, so we can just pick up the stretcher and carry it, dig the hole, place the body in, fill it in, say some words, and then I guess from there, if we need to keep searching, we can. But I just want to make sure that that's done respectfully.
It's tended to. The corpse is there. It's battered. It's bruised. It's not a nice, pretty corpse of someone who died in their sleep. It's the flesh is torn, the clothes are shredded.
Oh dear. Well, once I've finished I guess I'll wrap the body up as well, and then place the flowers on top of it, right? So it's not just like out in the open. Yeah. So the body's covered. There's flowers around it, masking the spell, and not in like a weird way, but I'll sleep next to the body in the remains of the house. And then in the morning, hopefully I've said to Cedric that evening to like meet me in the morning up here.
Yeah. Before morning comes, I do want to ask you, everyone else is back home with their families.
Yeah.
And they're all probably having, wonderful chats about how great and powerful, and look at all this new magic I've got. But here you are at the end of the day in a half-ruined house, and no one has come to see you. No one, people said all sorts of sad and touching things, but they all had to go deal with their own losses. And here you find yourself.
I think it's particularly
alone.
sad because if you're a half-elf and you're close to your elven parent, it's not like humans where you expect to see your parent die, right? Like, you kind of expect your mother to be in your life your entire life cycle and actually to remain young, even when you do eventually get old centuries later.
Like a constant person that's always there, yeah.
Yeah, so it's come as like a bit of a shock and a big loss. And also, like you said, it's such a formative, important moment. I'd spoken with her about there being a sign and a calling, like the one she missed to kind of help the elves, that I'd find mine. And now it seems that it's come, but she's gone at the same time. So, we only lost Dad, 10 or 20 years ago, but that feels like a relatively short time period. So now to lose her as well, and we can't go to the Elven Forest, I think there's a sense of she was my last connection to that half of me. And with that gone, how will I ever be able to, like, have that part of me still exist? So I think that's kind of why Riven's been keen to get some trinkets from the house to hold on to.
Yeah.
And I think I'll probably make, like, I don't know what they would be, like some little wooden tokens that we had around. I'll kind of make like a little bit of a necklace with a few little things that I can wear. I've got lots of necklaces and stuff anyway, so it just sort of fits into that, but like a bit of a charm necklace thing.
Yeah. And Riven is such a social people person. You're always trying to connect with others and see if they need support or help. And, when Elijah came in, was like, oh my God, some random person I didn't really know I saw die, you were the first person to reach out and try to help Elijah.
That's right.
And yet, here you are.
Yeah. I mean, I think Riven's good-natured and likes to give people the benefit of the doubt, so I think they would think that, it's been a really big traumatic event. Lots of people have lost people. Just because I'm here alone doesn't mean that people don't care. They've got their own things to worry about. If we were sitting here in a week's time, perhaps, but I'm hoping that people will turn up tomorrow to help me.
Very pragmatic and useful perspective.
Well, not so much pragmatic, but like just generous. A generous interpretation of others.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, the next day does come. The party gathers together in the town square. It's very busy. Zephyr is inundated, as is Elijah, with all of these needs and requests for help. But once it all gets sorted, the four of you, and if there's anyone else specifically that you think you would want to invite to this funeral on the other side of the island, which is it's a bit of a trek, and everyone's very
Does my
busy.
dad want to go?
Your dad might want to go, but like,
I'm not going to offer.
It's
but if he
dangerous, right?
asks, you know.
no, like there's
Okay.
too much happening in town. Everyone's trying to fill in these holes and uncover these rocks, and there's a lot of labor to be done.
They got holes,
funeral on
you
the
know?
other side of the island is a bit of a luxury.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
need to go out anyway. I feel like you might want to probably use Zephyr want to broach that topic with Riven on the way to the funeral. Like, listen, we've got to come here, obviously, but once this is done, we need to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Do you want to have that? Do you want to do that at roleplay?
Yeah. So I think, like, well, I don't know if we're there yet, Neil. So, obviously we
I
pick
think,
up the
yeah,
body, we get
everyone's-
going.
Funeral's been the in-town funeral's been had. Everyone else has been assigned work. The four of you are gathering because somewhere, I think someone mentioned that you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Probably yesterday. Yeah.
So it probably takes 2 people to carry the stretcher.
Yep.
And we probably take turns, right? Because it's a long way to go carrying a body, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I know that Cedric's got 18 strength, but whoever the second person is. So I guess at some point in the rotation, it'll be Cedric and Elijah carrying the body, and then me and Zephyr could have that talk then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to bring up the fact that we've got to.
Well, I was thinking of how I wanted to start the conversation, like how you holding up, sort of a thing. So yeah, I imagine we're just kind of walking along. The other two are carrying it. We're kind of lagging to the back, drinking water, and I'll say, beautiful out this way.
It is, yeah. This is the nicest side of the island, and where we're going, it was our favourite spot.
I can't wait to see it. Have you ever brought anyone else there before?
Just the 3 of us. Yeah, I don't know if you remember my father, but we would go out there a lot. Perhaps when I was younger, they'd have a friend with them. I can't recall.
Yeah. I'm sorry we're going there under these circumstances.
It's, I don't know. It's so much has happened in the last few days. I don't know if I've really come to terms with it yet. I never expected to be without her.
I kind of get where you're coming from. From the other direction, I kind of
What do you
expect to lose everyone. So,
Why?
well, all my family are human.
Not all of them.
Never met my dad.
Really?
Nope.
They're alive?
No idea. He's in the forest.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I've got family there as well.
Yeah.
I've managed actually to go there once or twice when I was younger. It's amazing there. You wouldn't believe it.
You don't even look that old.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a blessing or a curse depending on how you look at it, but it's one that we share together.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Look, I
that you're
know-
here, Zephyr, without my mum around. You're the closest thing to a connection to the elves that I've got left.
Same to you, and I guess the old Armator, but they're getting a little grey and long in the tooth, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. But I'm glad we're in this together, whatever this is that we're in.
I think it will be nice to have someone who'll be around for as long as I live. I don't think it's something I've really come to terms with yet, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry about your mom. And
Thank you.
I hate to bring this up now. But when we're done with your mom, if you feel ready, we do need to scout the island. We need to look for more missing people. I won't bring it up
Well-
until after the funeral again, but
It's okay. The town's a lot right now. I kind of prefer being out here anyway.
I'll nod and thanks for understanding. We'll talk about it after, but let's get this. Let's do this right. Let's say goodbye properly.
We've not always seen eye to eye, Zephyr, but the town's lucky to have you.
The town's lucky to have all of us, each and every one of us, together. We're stronger, and not in a physical way, but in a way that we can't be broken. If we stand together, we can get through anything.
I let that sit. I pull a blackberry, or 2 blackberries from a bush that we pass, and I hand one to Zephyr. And I eat
Zephyr
the first
takes
one.
it and eats it.
Okay, and then I think we can walk in silence until it's our turn to carry.
Perfect.
Do farmers ask for fertility totems for their
The sheep.
their animals?
Well,
feel like
no
they
one has
would.
ever had access to that. This is a new thing.
Oh, sick.
This
All
is
right, good.
you are bringing into the world magic that you've never heard of before.
Base.
These spells and powers that you've got are not like the cleric down the road has this. These are
I'm
truly
Martha's
unique
chosen.
abilities.
Boom. Nice.
That's
Good.
awesome.
She didn't choose you at all.
Sick.
You're an
But I can
accident.
cast Unseen Servant.
Actually, I am
Happy
an
accidents.
accident, and that's it's a good thing she's pro-life.
Yeah.
Well, through the woods we go. We're heading to a funeral spot. I'm going to bring us to a map.
Don't make us
Because
fight
I-
with the dead body, Neil.
No, I'm not making you fight.
That would be
I want to
base.
know where it is that you... Because here's the creek, the river.
Yeah.
It's
Which way's
a
the
wide
mountains?
river at this point. It's not very deep at all. You know, you can walk across this without any fear. It's inches deep. Are you bearing in a nice little spot by the crook of the river, on a hill by a river, in like a little canyon by a river?
there a waterfall near here?
I think it's up here. If this is near, it is north of the mountains, so the river's flowing down.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's like here, maybe somewhere.
I can't
this.
up there. Got it. Ah. Oh, on that nice little rocky outcropping that the river
Yeah.
winds around.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's lovely. You can
really
hear the
is.
birds. You can hear the salmon splashing upstream.
Your mom was the
Leaves
elf, your
rustling.
dad was the human.
Yeah,
What about Zephyr?
the other way
My
around.
mom was the human. Dad was the
Yeah,
elf.
the elf. Got it.
Were you wondering if we were siblings?
No, no. That'd be
Secret
funny though.
siblings. Well,
Oh shit. What if your mom was my dad's sister and we were actually secret
Yeah.
half
Oh, shit.
brother?
And now
half
what
cousin?
happens if you guys bang?
Riven, they can't have kids. Riven, would you roll me, I don't know, like a D10?
Sure. What about D11?
Yeah, roll me a D11. Whatever die you want, man. Whatever die you
He'll
want.
roll low no matter what.
True.
Okay. The salmon, they're stewing, they're splashing. There's a little bit of wind. The trees are swaying in it. Everyone else is walking with the leaves crunching underneath them. And Riven, as you sort of look to the mountain and look to the water, and you're thinking about your father and visiting the spot for the first time in a long time, your eyes fall across a hideous sight. Surprised, just as surprised as you are, coming in the direction of your father's funeral spot is a small pack of goblins, and they see you and you see them, and there's a pause, a moment where everyone's like, huh? What?
Why is there goblins here?
Yeah.
I turn around to the party. What do we do?
Party doesn't see this yet. You're in the lead.
Oh, guys. Shh. It's goblins.
Elijah's deep into his papers. So if we move the fucking people, and then we
Goblins
just
where?
keeps
You say
walking.
goblins.
What?
And as you say goblins, there's a coming from
Oh,
the far
shit!
side.
Oh, shit.
And
Pull out my mace.
It's initiative time, everybody. If you will click your token, you'll see in the upper left-hand corner a button that just says initiative. That should have been retooled by now, so you can just click that, and you only need to do it once.
Boom. My wand and wizard hat.
I don't know why it's not showing off everyone's tokens, but we will figure that out later.
Okay, so I can chant, and it begins at my initiative. Good
Oh
to know.
wait,
Yeah.
initiative low is bad now. For God, that was
Yes.
the one thing I had.
Yes, actually, I thought that was good.
That was
I
the
thought I
one
rolled
thing I had.
We do need a Zephyr. Oh, you're over here, dude.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find my token so I could roll. I got 19.
Yeah, it's a
Let's
big map.
go.
Zephyr's token looks sick.
That's pretty cool.
All right, Zephyr,
Yeah.
you are carrying a body. You've got your shield over your back, your sword at your side, your hands are on the stretcher. Riven turns to you and is like, guys, goblins, what do we do? And as you start to alert on this, you hear a "Paka!" coming from the
Sure.
far side.
I yell, ready, attack,
I dropped the
contact,
body.
contact. And I go to drop the body, but I just, I take the time to lower it respectfully.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We appreciate
Equipping a shield is a full round action because it has to be attached to your arm. It's a nice big heavy shield. So you can either leave it at bay and draw your weapon and run in. You can take the whole round to equip your shield. You have other abilities.
Can I chant of peace while equipping my shield?
Absolutely.
I chant of peace while
Chant
equipping my
of
shield.
Peace. You want to tell everyone what Chant of Peace does?
I don't know is it on my character sheet? Can
All
I?
It's not on
creatures
your
within the
character sheet.
cleric's aura lose -1 to hit on physical attacks, including allies, I assume.
Correct.
Yes. Your aura is an area around you that is equal to the diameter is your willpower in feet. The radius is half your willpower in feet, or your wisdom in this situation. So your wisdom, Zephyr, is 12. So 6 feet in all directions is how this will affect,
Oh, cool.
which is essentially 1 square for now.
1 square, yeah.
Yeah. So I will.
And
I will
mine's the
start,
same.
I will start chanting, chant of peacing, and equipping my shield and making my way. I guess. How far could I move this round, considering I'm dropping?
120
in?
feet.
I will position myself. Who's this character at the front? Is that Elijah?
That's me.
That's Riven.
Riven.
That's Riven. I will position myself exactly diagonal like this
Mhm.
to create a sort of zone of control that enemies cannot pass through.
Without
Exactly.
suffering opportunity attacks. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is one of the goblins, sword in hand, who's going to do 120 feet of movement. And not quite enough to... Actually, they can charge. They do charge. This goblin blindly charges at you, Riven. Brings
that
up
a straight
their
line?
sword.
Was it a straight line?
A great question. Was it a straight
I
line?
didn't see where it was.
You know what? You're right. They've got to go up and down a hill. They cannot fully charge. So they
Love it.
move forward. Good call. Way to rules lawyer. I missed rules lawyering.
He's so good at
I'm
it
in my
too.
rules lawyering era for this campaign, so get ready.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, me too. You know what? I'm bringing it back.
Neil,
No!
We're
as
going to
your
the story
favorite
again.
player, I promise to never question any of your rulings.
Thank you. You can
Nice.
get an extra 5 experience points.
Oh,
Thank you, teacher. The next goblin will also come up and form a line with their buddy, side by side.
Oh shit.
Leaving us with Cedric the Smith. The body, you can feel the stretcher being set down behind you, the sound of goblins. I think you also were away with your thoughts for a moment, and it took you a moment to snap back to reality. I'm
gonna get over here.
Do not have a shield on.
I don't need the shield. I'll take it off my character sheet too. I'm not going to spend a round up for 1 AC. That'd be foolish.
That would be foolish.
I'm going to move up to here so to get a hit in, and I'm going to be chanting the enchantment of protection. So everybody within my radius gains 1 HP temporarily.
Including the goblins.
Including the goblins, yes. I don't know
Fascinating.
what the math is, but, I think it's better for me to have HP than them, so fuck it.
it depends on if you not kill them with an attack, right?
That's true, yeah. And I'm gonna attack. So, here we go. I'm gonna do it with my mace. And I think my stuff is correct. With a 4.
A 4 to hit will indeed hit. You do not hit the enemy, unfortunately.
Oh, got it.
A 4 is still a miss, yeah.
Cool.
Chant
That's it.
of Peace. All creatures within the cleric's aura gain +1 temporary HP. I'm going to give you a
Chant
little
of
bit
protection.
more. Yeah, sorry. What did I say? Peace? Protection?
Yeah.
Have a rule here about temporary HP, but I can't find it.
Oh, yeah. I was about to ask because it gets weird. Because if I stop chanting it after I get hit, do they get the HP? I'm sure
I'll find my rule later. We'll worry
Yeah.
about it in a
Perfect.
moment. Elijah, it's your turn. You too.
All right.
You got papers. You got notes. You were alone last night. You didn't care. I mean, you kind of cared. This is a nice place. But now there's goblins.
Oh fuck. Okay, he drops his papers
Shh.
and then
Goblins
realizes he's
floor.
dropped them all in mud, and he goes shit, fuck. And then he scurries over here in like a, run.
Mm-hmm.
Towards his friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, watch this. No, I got this. And he raises his hand and he casts burning spray on one of the goblins.
Oh,
It
shit.
has a 5-foot range. You need to be closer.
Can I get that movement?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got a ton
Easy.
of movement.
That's
Now-
great.
You've had a day to look at your powers. You have to be adjacent, yeah. You got to be real close with burning spray.
He's got
You've
this.
had a day to sort this out, and you understand that this magic you can cast from your hand, but you can also cast it through any sort of like natural element. You could cast it through a staff, something made of iron or rock or a gemstone or glass. Any natural thing can act as a conduit to have the fire start from, the end of it instead of your hands.
But I'm assuming I have to be touching the conduit for that?
Yes, you would be.
Okay.
Does it still hurt him if he touches it?
No, if it starts, if he's holding
Oh,
a staff or
interesting.
a sword and it comes from the staff or the sword, then it's, 5 feet away from him or 3 feet away from him, and that's not going to hurt him.
Could it be,
Interesting.
and this is just for flavor, could it be a quill?
A quill? Like a pen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, not like a feather quill, but if you were to make a quill out of stone or metal, yeah, but not animal, actually. Very specifically not animal.
Interesting. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
get back on that later. For now, I think
Sure.
he's just casting it from his hands.
Excellent. Well, roll me D3 plus 2. We will get a little saving throw from our goblin friend who will fail. I should be rolling this in person. They will
damage?
take 3 points of damage, and you will also roll me a D20. You want a 12 or higher. You fail. You will take half damage, which is
One?
rounded down. You will take 1 point of damage as the goblin is erupted in flame. Now, when you cast Burning Spray, you can do it. It doesn't have to just be here. You could do it in like an arc all the way around you if you wanted to. Now, granted, there's just one goblin in front of you, so it doesn't matter. But just as a,
Gotcha. I
it
could
doesn't
use
have to
it
be
as
single
like a-
target.
So
like a
if he'd
chain
have
lightning
gone
type thing.
there, he was here, he could have hit both.
Right. Had you been here, you could have cast it on
Gotcha.
these two. Or if you wanted, you could have cast it on these two and Cedric behind you.
Cool. I think Elijah's learning this as it happens. Like, it
Yeah.
kind of arcs around him, but he sees that it's not hitting anything, and maybe for the next time he'll take note of that. But for now, he'll go, watch this, guys. Oh, fuck, shit. Oh, did I get him?
Perfect.
You did get him, but I guess he's still there.
Yes, a charging goblin, this one does have a straight line, will charge all the way up next to Zephyr. But you are chanting. You are chanting what? Peace?
Correct. So he
All
basically 18 to hit is my AC right now.
All right. The goblin charges at you, has a penalty of 1 to hit, plus 2 to hit because they charge, which makes it a total of a +1, which will actually land a blow on you somehow.
Come on.
The goblin, just mad and ferocious, comes at you. You can see the the sword slash sort of waver momentarily in the air before you, and instead of striking your face, it strikes a little bit lower down, bouncing off of your armor and sliding into the side of your shoulder for 2 points of damage.
Owie.
As the last goblin also does not have a clear line of sight to charge and will have to just walk 120, leaving us with Riven.
Okay. This moment's been a long time coming. I take a few steps back. I reach into my belt and I pull out my sling. And guys, listen, I'm legendary when it comes to these slings, and I might only have a +0 to hit, but I'm gonna fuck this goblin up. So I'm gonna hit this one that's just running forward. Neil, he's running forward. He's like he's jogging.
He's running right into it.
When the bullet hits him square in his forehead, it's gonna sting extra. 15.
Bam! Which one was
Boom.
running forward? Because they all
This
ran
one.
forward.
This one.
This one right here.
This one over here. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, as this goblin is coming into this position, the sling reaches out, strikes the goblin for how much damage?
Well, is it D6 or is it D6 +1? I feel like I remember it being D6 +1.
There's whether you're using a rock or a
I'm
specially
using a bullet.
formed
I'm
bullet.
using a bullet. I'm using a bullet. There's no reason not to.
Who
I don't know
makes
if you're
the
in
fucking
touch
bullets?
with nature. You would make the bullets, actually, Mr. Smith.
I would.
There's a
You
little
make the
grape
bullets.
shot.
Good money for me.
That's good money. Right there. I'm checking
Sling
it.
bullet is D4
Sling
plus
bullet.
1.
Yeah, D6.
D6 +1. Okay.
D4 plus 1. No?
I'm seeing on the economics sheet, bullet D6. The stone is D4. I don't see a
Yeah.
+1.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, we
D6,
can do
I
D6.
thought
you can do it how you
That's
want,
fine.
We'll do
D6, D4 plus 1. Same.
This goblin's about to get one shot. 5.
The goblin is one shot. The
I fucking called it. Yes.
bullet hits
This
the
is gonna
goblin
be
in the
great.
head. It impales itself in the goblin's head. The goblin falls to the ground and vanishes with all of their gear on the spot,
Oh, shit.
leaving
More of
the
this
last goblin, very last goblin, who can also charge somehow straight at you. What do you call it? Warden?
Zephyr?
Yeah.
Zephyr.
Overseer, with that would have been a 16, but with the aura of protection, chant of protection, or chant of peace, it's just a 15, and it's a miss, leading us to Zephyr. You are starting off the combat.
I will take a swing at the
Are you
goblin.
maintaining your chant of peace, which will impose a -1 to hit on you, or are you going to let it drop?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I will. I think a -1 to hit on 2 people is better than a -1 to hit on 1 person.
Okay,
And
perfect.
my goal is. I don't think these goblins can beat me. Okay, I think
Excellent.
I think I can beat them. I'm going to take a swing at the goblin to my left.
Mm-hmm.
I will make an attack roll at -1, so this is a 3. That's
Your sword whips out towards the goblin. This is the second real fight you've been in before. Maybe you're a little nervous. Maybe the goblin is just too damn short, or maybe they've got that like nice little shield that manages to put your blow away, but you make no contact with them.
Goblins.
This goblin that is in front of Elijah will stab with his little thrusty sword with a natural 18, which does not clear by 5, so it is not a critical hit, but it does stab Elijah for 2 points of damage.
Ouch.
I'm getting kind of cooked over here, guys.
You get cooked, yeah.
Yeah.
damn.
Cedric, the goblin before you, also thrusts with a natural 19.
Oh my
and
God.
that does clear by 5 against you. So this is a critical hit against you. And you will take a total of 7 points of damage, which is normally your full HP, but you have
Yeah.
1 temporary HP from your
Wow.
chant
Some
of
down to 1.
protection. So you're at 1. All right.
I'm a genius. What am I going to do?
It's time to clap back.
Yeah, we need to
Cedric.
clap here. Here's my mace attack.
Oh!
18, 19.
Ooh,
That is
boom.
also a critical hit. Please roll me
All
double
right.
damage against the
2d6.
goblin. Oh,
14
yeah,
damage.
just immediately. The goblin doesn't
Oh,
even have
man.
time to hit the ground before it completely disappears before you. Like, on impact, blood begins to splatter, and then it just vanishes as the goblin dies. Would you like to move?
Yeah, I want to fucking move. I'm gonna move behind this guy to get a flank.
Excellent. That will grant this goblin 1 temporary HP.
Yeah, that'd do.
Okay. Excellent.
So if he
I'm gonna
stops
stop chanting. Can I stop at the end, or do you have to stop at the start?
Your chant, you decide at the start of your turn. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even want to stop chanting because I'm not even sure what that would do if I stop having the 1 temporary HP.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stop.
Figure it out later. Excellent. Elijah.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
There's a goblin before you. He stabbed you.
Yeah, piece of shit. I'm feeling pretty hurt. Guys, I'm gonna listen. It's been. If I turn around now, I'm gonna provoke
Kill
an
him,
attack of
Elijah.
opportunity, right?
You
You've
could do
been
a full
trained.
withdrawal.
Yeah.
Elijah,
do
you
full
need to
withdrawal.
fight.
Either a
Quickly,
full action
Elijah.
to withdraw, or
Really quick. Fuck it. How much MP did this burning spray cost me?
Oh, you're
4.
all done, son.
All of
That's
it.
That's your.
All of it. I
need to
draw.
rest.
We're one and done.
I draw my rapier.
Huzzah.
The trusty rapier.
I see that my friends are fighting. I see that I'm hurt, but I'm also pissed at this fucking goblin. And
Kick
I'm,
his ass.
and I'm
Sorry.
feeling pretty confident about myself and my new magical powers. I'm feeling a wind beneath me. I feel like normally I would run from a situation like this, but no. Elijah, heavily wounded, draws his rapier, relies on his fencing training, closes his eyes, and takes a stab towards the goblin. With a
It's a critical hit! Oh my god, roll double damage.
-4 because eyes were
with
closed.
fucking 8 damage to the face of the goblin.
The
Holy.
rapier goes through the goblin's neck, and as you pull it out, the goblin vanishes,
Holy
Around
shit,
you.
guys!
You're a killing machine.
leaving the goblins on Zephyr. The first one lashes out, wild miss. Riven takes a turn, sling in hand, begins to reload.
I walk over
assuming.
here and shoot the goblin in the back. Is that
Yep.
how are we saying about shooting in combat?
Yes.
Firing
Firing
into
into melee is going to be a problem. I think that's a super important rule, and when we ignore it, missile weapons become wildly OP. So
Well,
if
it's
you
fine
want to
because-
fire into melee, we'll count each of these 3 people as one target, and then we'll randomly determine where it goes, because everyone is constantly moving. I know we're showing like flat 2D
Yeah.
maps where no one is doing anything, but combat is not just like stand and hold your sword. Everyone's moving back and forth all the time.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I shoot into the combat. So, do we roll to hit first, or roll the or roll the D3
roll me the
first?
D20 plus. Yeah, the roll to hit, and then we'll roll the D3. Don't roll a 1.
19.
Hey.
Let's
Beautiful.
fucking go.
Don't roll a 1 on a D3.
No problem.
Your slingstone goes over the head of the goblin and strikes Zephyr, your leader, but does not critical because they have high AC.
5 damage.
You
Deadly
knock
with a sling.
Zephyr unconscious
No,
immediately.
really?
Yes.
What?
Zephyr is at -1 HP.
I think these are kind of squirrely missile rules. Well, that-
Yeah.
They
Okay.
are the rules as written in 2nd edition. They try to make
okay.
firing
That's
into
true.
melee difficult so that you can't just like have one tank and a million archers.
Okay.
That's my bad, dude. I didn't think the odds were. I thought the odds were even if I hit you, there's no way I'd actually hit you.
One in
So I
one in-
felt like
one
it
in
would be
three-
fine.
1 in 3 chance. that
Well,
you
yeah,
kill
but
me?
then my roll to hit, I'd need an 18 to hit you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought, like, even if I roll a 1, I'm unlikely to actually hurt
Just
him.
unlucky.
Just
well,
unlucky.
Unlucky.
Zephyr goes down. The goblin turns and heads straight for Riven
Good,
Amazing.
good.
with an 8 to hit, slashing towards Riven, but wildly
No dice.
missing. Zephyr begins to bleed, and
I gotcha.
Cedric
Uh,
badly wounded.
oh, I am.
1 HP.
Ugh.
Actually, 1 HP plus 1 temporary HP now.
Yeah. Well, no, only 1 HP.
You're still
1
chanting
temporary.
your chant of protection. Yeah,
but that was the
correct.
one HP he had was the 1 HP from the chance
No,
of protection.
temporary HP
And I'm
is hit
telling you
first.
that
Oh.
the life drains from at first, and now that it's the next round, the chant refreshes your HP. You have 1 temporary
Ooh,
HP.
So I got 2 HP right now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm gonna run over here, and just give me 2 seconds to read my spell. If a creature is at 0 HP or less, they are stabilized and can be brought to 1d4 HP. So I'm gonna run over here and
Yes.
heal.
But it takes. You can only replace 1 HP per round. So if you were to
Oh, so I have
go
to like
next
hold
to her,
it there. Got it.
yeah, you could bring her to 1,
Yeah.
for sure. But if it would be higher, it would take more time. Yeah, it's not a combat heal.
No, I definitely see that now. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna run over here and I'm gonna help Zephyr.
Do it.
Help Zephyr.
Or,
Help
sorry,
Zephyr. I'm
Riven.
alright. Help Zephyr.
All right, I'll run over here and help Zephyr. I mean, I don't think it's gonna attack Zephyr, so.
I mean, we don't know though.
No,
Right.
I don't. You're right.
You hurry
Alright.
to the other side of the goblin, round the tree. The goblin is standing over Zephyr's body with a wicked grin like, friendly fire is the greatest thing that's ever been invented. Thank the gods for these wonderful second edition rules. They certainly weren't on cocaine in the 80s when they made these crazy ideas.
I'm gonna say it's clobbering time, and I'm gonna hit him with a 9.
Wild miss.
Oh no.
Okay. How does temporary
Elijah.
HP work on a person who's next to you who's down?
Don't worry
good
about it.
point.
We'll get there eventually.
Good.
Elijah Evans. It's 2 goblins. You're out of mana, but you did kill the last one, and each of them is aggroed on someone else right now.
I got this, guys. I'm gonna save all of you. He steps next to this goblin to push his rapier into his face, this time more confidently.
Mm-hmm.
With a +2 to hit for back attack.
+2 to hit for back attack.
It's another
oh my God.
19. What can I say, Neil?
He's back.
He's back, baby. Let's go.
Archie.
Elijah
Spirit of
motherfucking
God.
Evans with the 9
Dead.
damage.
In and out, the goblin dies, is gone before your very eyes.
Woo! Elijah is excited.
Riven.
Okay.
The
I
goblins come up
summon.
to you.
Yes. Well, now he's made the mistake of entering into my melee range, where I shall summon the power of lightning and charge my hand up into a shocking grasp and grip this goblin. I just launch my hand out into his face and grab him by the face, and I want to fry his
Touch
eyeballs
AC?
out of his skull. Yes.
All right. Shocking Grasp is what we would call an armor breaching spell. So you only need to hit his base AC.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, and then
I've got +0 to hit, so
well, just roll a 10 or
D20.
better.
no.
Yeah.
Lucky. Luck ran out.
Well, Shocking Grasp
Um,
maintains on you 1
but it
round
says
per
friendly.
level. Oh yeah, and you're only first level. Ah, bummer.
Useless.
That's it.
What are you
Okay.
gonna do?
The sole remaining goblin tries to stab you with a 13, which is almost good enough. It would have hit Riven.
No, it is because I'm not wearing my
yesterday.
breastplate.
No. But don't you have? Oh, you don't have high dex. You have high con. My mistake. Yeah, that definitely stabs you then. For 6 points of damage as the short sword goes through you. Yesterday, this would have almost killed you. Today,
Yes.
high con.
Tis but a
You're
scratch.
actually, yeah.
Fine.
Zephyr unfortunately continues to get worse. Cedric Smith.
I spend the round, cast. Ooh. I go up to the fucking goblin to clobber him from behind.
+2 to hit from
I'll
behind.
get you next round.
Clobbering.
9.
7, 8, 9 is not good enough. This is also including your strength bonus already.
Yeah. +1 from
Really?
strength.
Yeah, it's a miss. It's a stumble. It's a fumble. It's too much strength. You're underestimating your power, and the mace is like not. It's getting to the point where you want it to be faster than you're anticipating it, and you're just. It's not doing well. But Elijah, dear Elijah, the bureaucrat from far
god.
away with an ancestral connection to the land, the innate coward, and yet huge body count.
He runs up to the next goblin, Neil. He readies his rapier. He swings.
Stops.
He starts.
You
Your
thrust.
request? has been denied.
Jesus, that's your third critical in a row.
Jesus.
Oh, no, weak damage though. That sucks.
Roll another
The goblin had
D6.
2 HP, gained 1 temporary from Cedric moving
Down.
next to him, but 3 still kills the goblin, and he dies.
Fuck, yeah. That's 3 for 3, Elijah.
I look at Elijah with wonder and walk over here, get on my knees, and start casting.
Oh my god,
Cure
Zephyr, I'm
Light
so
Wounds.
sorry.
Excellent. You can
Is she
bring
gonna be
Zephyr
okay? Oh.
up to D4.
I watched this healing happening.
2.
Zephyr, you can return to 2 HP.
I bolt awake. What happened?
Zephyr,
And
I'm so sorry.
I'm like
Holy
swinging from the
shit.
ground. I'm like, what
Did you-
happened?
Did you guys see that?
You were amazing, Elijah. I can't believe it.
I ran up to the first guy and I cast the fire and it went and then I hurt myself. But then I pulled my rapier, right, and I remembered my fencing classes, so I struck him to the face with a precise right. And then the second one, you guys were in trouble, right? So I ran up to the second one, chopped his head clean off, and the third one. Did you hear the thing that I said? It was, oh my god, it was crazy. It was crazy. What the fuck? And he starts vomiting suddenly.
You were really wasted on those bananas.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
What happened? What happened to me? I was fighting them and then I didn't see them swing.
I even just hit you with a bullet.
No, I was slinging the goblins and one of them ducked at the last second and it hit you with square in the face. I'm sorry, I kind of like touch your forehead where there's a bit of a welt. But
Okay, be more careful in future. You could have killed me if you hit me in the eye or something.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the goblin was going to duck that. You know.
'Tis but a scratch, my lord.
I'm sorry.
I reach up and I feel. I don't think that's a scratch. I nearly died. I think
tried
we need to
this,
take this. We need to be a lot more careful.
I walk away from
I
this to
agree.
go and check the body is okay.
I'll try to treat your wounds, and I know it takes 10 minutes per HP.
1 minute per HP. Because you
Per
have cure
turn?
light wounds. You get
Yeah, but I already
1
cast
HP
that
per
on him
round.
once.
Oh, I see.
I'm
yeah,
trying
so,
to cast treat wounds now. I'm trying to see if they work together in tandem.
No, they do not.
Okay,
I
one
can,
of
I
them.
can't
Gotcha.
cast treat wounds on myself, right? In
Once
this
you have been
situation.
hit, right? Once you've been hit with the treat or cure wound spell, you cannot benefit from it again.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
I will cure light wounds myself.
You are conscious. You can gain up to 1d8 HP.
Perfect. I'll take back 3.
Oh.
All right. So that means
Okay.
I'm at 4.
All right.
I-
Yeah, everyone, you're fine.
I dust myself up and I start giving out orders again. I say, Cedric, who else is hurt? Can you make sure you heal everyone? That's
Yeah.
what you can do, right?
It's my speciality, yeah.
Okay, make sure they're healed. Did
I'll go heal up.
we see where those goblins even came from?
They disappeared when they
They
died.
just appeared.
Did they leave any trace? And I'll go down to the
help me.
ground.
We're close. Help me. The stretcher.
And I'd
Are you
like.
over 25% HP, Elijah?
No.
It's if you've lost.
Am I
less
above
than
20? I'm at
25%?
3 out of 6 HP. I'm at 50%.
It's
It's only if you're above 75, I think.
Correct.
If the target is missing. Okay, yeah. So 75 or above. Got it. Thank you. You take 5 HP. I go help him with the stretcher.
Thank you.
Did you say I take 5 HP or Zephyr?
Gives you 5 HP to Elijah.
Yeah, you're at
Elijah.
full.
Okay, perfect.
The bodies, the goblins are gone. Their blood is gone. All sign of them is gone, save the wounds that are on you that are being stitched over by Cedric's healing. You can pick up stretcher and continue along your way. Zephyr is not at full HP, just as a heads up.
Yeah.
No, not Zephyr. Should be Elijah.
Right.
Elijah's full. Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Okay.
can come back to the little tombstone that you've got over here. Or what is it? How do you mark this spot? Do you mark it? Or is
Yeah.
it left?
I think it's marked probably just by like a carving in the tree here,
Mm-hmm.
in the bark of this tree here. So I ask Cedric, can I have that shovel? You
Hand him
carry.
a shovel.
Thank you. And then I start trying to dig a grave.
Shouldn't I do that?
Oh, well, I wouldn't ask you to do that, but
I mean,
you look like you do a great job.
I'd do a better job than you.
Okay, I hand you the shovel back. I
Hit a
come
rock.
over. I come over and to where Dad's buried, and I kind of like mark it out and say, you know, don't dig in this bit, and dig in this bit instead.
I go over
And
there.
then I get
dig there.
my short sword out and I start carving, you know, her name and a message about her in the tree. You know, she died opening the door to the future.
Not bad. Where's your dad at? I ask.
I point down. I just showed you, right? Like, don't dig in this bit. That's where he's buried. Dig in
I had
this bit
started
instead.
digging over there, and now I've walked over here. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig your grave.
Thank
Quickly.
you. I place the body in there. And then we do like a typical thing. I throw a bit of dirt on. I say some words that are heartfelt that I don't really have to hand. I don't want to do a bad job of doing it. So, yeah, I say some small prayers, some nice words about my mother and father and the love they had together, and at least now that they're together again.
You
And
say
hopefully
anything
this
about
has all been
joining them?
No. Wait, joining them together or me joining them?
Like I hope I can,
No.
see you again.
Oh. In
On the other
afterlife? No, I don't think I do actually.
Okay.
I say that I hope that I can live to see the freedom of the forest. And then we can fill in the soil.
I hand you the shovel to fill in.
Okay, yeah, I do it.
It's taken half the day to get here, maybe an hour to dig the grave appropriately,
Yeah.
less time to fill it in.
After I finish filling it in and I put the last shovel of soil back in the hole, I off to the side, shove the soil into the ground and then fall and sit on the floor and just contemplate, listen to the sound of the water, and wait for Zephyr or someone to tell us what's happening next.
Zephyr will be quiet for a while. Zephyr has never considered her own mortality. Only the mortality of the other people around her, that they will all die before her, and she never really thought about the fact that, in Zephyr's mind, she's going to outlive everyone that she will ever know. Right? This is something that has been drilled into her. And, she feels like she almost died today. I almost died. This has kind of fucked her up a bit. So she doesn't really say much for a while.
Life is more threatening. You said it took Cedric an hour to dig the grave?
About, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
actually
two
very
magic
fast.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably 2 hours, so I think I get 2 hours of rest in here and recover my magic power, so does Elijah probably.
Yep. I think you both recover your MP.
I will
2
probably be
hours
the first
of
to
rest
speak up.
to get full MP back.
Well,
Yes.
to get 4 MP back, that's full right now, but
Sick.
when we level up, obviously it'll be...
That's a good
Longer.
system. We get to cast so many more spells. You remember how
Yeah,
cucked
yeah.
it was? As
One a
fucking
day.
Growl, where it's oh, I have a million spells, but guess what? You have to prepare them 24 hours in advance, like it's fucking marinated chicken or some shit.
That's the
Your
advantage of the
complaints were
sorcerer.
noted, and I built you a custom class to deal with that.
Oh yeah, that's fucking right, Koibu.
I'll speak up, guys. I think that we should probably camp here and search around here. The last time we fought goblins was actually when I don't know if we noticed, but it was near that door.
I guess it was, yeah.
There might be something near here.
Okay, well, this is a nice place to camp anyway. It's safe here. Well, safe-ish at least.
I mean, we just fought goblins here. I don't know how safe it is.
Yeah, but it's a peninsula, right?
Yeah. I'll heal you as we talk. Take 7.
Who?
You.
I'm full health. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, my token didn't update.
My token's
Thank
about to,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll just refresh. Yeah. All right, cool. I heal you to full. Or whatever.
Fantastic. Wow, I feel so much better. Cedric, that's amazing.
I'm brilliant. Yeah, I know. I say with a cheeky smile.
If anyone pays attention to Zephyr, you'll notice that she's kind of like sitting on her own, kind of curled up. We're camping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zephyr. We're gonna be searching around here too.
Zephyr doesn't respond. She's like curled up into a ball, thinking about how close to dying she came today.
Eventually, later on in the night, I'll come and sit next to Zephyr and give her a hug and say, I'm so sorry.
Some nice half-elf love.
And I'll just say, I'm not meant to die.
You're not. This wouldn't have happened to us if we were meant to die here.
No. Like, everyone else is meant to die. I'm supposed to live. I don't understand. I almost died
You're
today.
alive.
Yeah, but I almost died. That's not...
Well,
I'm supposed to outlive everyone.
The last time.
I'm supposed to outlive everyone. I don't want to die.
No one can outlive everyone, Zephyr.
No, I mean the town. I don't want to die.
All right, well,
I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm not
okay.
I'm not the person anymore.
You know what, Zephyr?
I shouldn't have told my grandfather I can't do this.
It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be worried. It's fine.
I need to go home. I need to go.
No,
I
fine.
can't. No. There's too many goblins. I think we're not safe here. I can't.
Just rest your eyes a little bit.
I can't. I don't want to die out here.
I will lie next to Zephyr and comfort her.
Zephyr will not necessarily take your comfort, but she will not reject it either. She's just kind of lost in the sort of the shock to her system. Like, this is a bit of it. Like, the concept of death is so abstract until you encounter it, right? And the combination of the death of the people of the town and getting knocked unconscious for the first time in her life, right? Like, having a brush with death like that has just kind of, she needs time.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. You know, you just need to work through it.
Yeah.
And as an empathetic person, Revan understands that and will help without being too intrusive.
It is appreciated.
Give you space to process it, you know?
Absolutely. I cry and hold you.
I think we don't search tonight, and we probably spend the night camping, and we'll do our little search tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Okay. The day passes. I'm sure you've brought some amount of food with you, but it's generally a temperate area, even though we are well into November by now. I don't think we brought full camping supplies. The seal feels like it's maybe taken a bit of a detour from the expected behavior with those surprise goblins.
I think the fighting was suspected, but we were expecting to do a bit of searching, right?
Maybe.
That's true. I think so. I think we were probably spending, I don't know, a few days out here searching around.
Sure, but I didn't hear
I would
anyone say I
say-
grab camping supplies and rations for a multi-day trip around the island. So I'm going to say that there's probably not, like, you don't have tents and bedrolls, you don't have lots of days of food. Riven knows their way around.
I can get us some food. I know where there's some like berry bushes near here and things like that.
I think
It's gonna be
the
a-
general principle is if we're doing a patrol, we would have brought like enough food for today and tomorrow because we wouldn't expect to spend more than 2 days, you know.
You can always get home within 6 hours from wherever you are
Exactly.
on the island. So a little bit of food, but no camping supplies, no pots and pans, no cookware.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think I will then go and gather some berries and if I can like find some fish or crabs or something. I mean, I've got animal law and herbalism. I know these both aren't directly related to food gathering, but given that I know the place so well, I feel like I should be able to scavenge up something to eat. And I think that caring for the rest of the party is a good way of dealing with the grief.
Yeah. No better time like one surrounded by death to spend your time focusing on life.
Yeah.
So the party rests.
Yeah, Elijah spends this time just babbling about how this fight was, and the story gets crazier every single time. And he's talking to Cedric about it, and he's like, dude, it was we were lost without if I hadn't. Oh my god, it's those fencing class. You know, my fencing teacher did always say that I do have a really special talent for it. You know, Cedric. You ever do any fencing, Cedric?
No, I've only done. I point to my mace. Handling with my mace.
Right. I mean, maces are cool, right? Cool weapons. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like they swing them around, right? It's not as imprecise.
What's your
as
you have a last name?
Evans.
Oh, so you're a rich boy. Fencing classes, last name.
Well, like I mean, I wasn't like rich. I mean, my father did well for himself, you know. But once I grew up, I kind of left all that kind of behind and kind of did my own thing, you know, because it was like because my dad was always like, you gotta build up your own thing. And I was like, no, I'm gonna, you know, and so always kind of was really fighting from. But like I mean, yeah, my parents were. My dad. At least,
I mean, you could afford
mom's
fencing
fine.
lessons and everything. You know, I mean, I didn't grow up a hard life either, so I'm not trying to make fun of you for it. You know,
Right.
I grew up and my parents, you know, were the only blacksmith in town. We're not exactly hurting.
Yeah, and I mean like blacksmithing. That's really important too, right? It's like my dad was a merchant. Your dad was a blacksmith. They were basically doing the same thing, right? Just
Let me see your rapier.
I show you the rapier.
I pick up the rapier.
It's like old and shitty. It's like a Toyota Corolla, you know?
It gets the job done, you
It's
know.
a workhorse, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I could fix this if you needed.
Really, you would? I mean, it's a good rapier, right? Like I think I bought it.
It's good. It's just not well maintained.
Right, because like I didn't, yeah, because
I'll hit it with a whetstone and it should be fine.
that's really nice, Cedric. Thanks, man.
No problem.
That is nice.
It's adorable.
Can I
Oh god.
sorry, can I gather any of my bullets, Neil? They did both land quite squarely in the heads of people, so I feel like I could find them.
Yeah, give me I'll give you a 30% chance per bullet.
30% per bullet.
Yeah, losing things in the forest floor can be pretty difficult to reclaim.
What if they're wedged in somebody's skull?
Just roll
they're
the
not.
goddamn die.
Neither.
Well, I get.
The goblin disappeared, and it wasn't wedged in. What's her face? Zephyr's skull. You know, it's way back over there, and you got to like search the area where the combat was, and it's since rolled into some grass or underneath a bush, or you know,
Squirrel
it's just
picked it up.
can be hard to find things lost in the wilderness, especially when they're small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, we spend the night then, I guess.
Okay. A night spent,
Nice.
but there's a lot of time. You know, there's a few hours before the sun goes down. It's getting on towards winter. Not quite there yet, but like it's getting on. The sun's not up for super long, but you still have time to hang out together, and then time around whatever campfire you build amongst yourselves. And at
Yeah.
some point, the discussion of the goblins comes up, probably during one of Elijah's storytelling moments where he's telling the story again. Where do you all think these goblins come from? Because they're vanishing before you. What is happening?
You know, maybe maybe they're like defenses of the fortress. And now that
That's
it's
what I'm
like,
thinking.
turned back on, the defenders are the goblins are appearing to defend it.
My
Maybe it's
thoughts are
because the
really jumbled.
gods-
All I can think about is like these goblins they're sent here to kill me. They're sent here to kill me. They're something doesn't want us to live. They want us to fail, and they're after us. And like, yeah.
Maybe
How
it's
about
because the
Never doesn't
gods
say
came
this,
back,
but this is what she's thinking.
and the magic is powering the fortress again, and that's bringing the defenses back. So the goblins are being teleported in or spawning. I don't know.
But would Ferris really have had goblin defenders?
I
With-
shrug. Why
They're
not?
more like
I mean,
ghosts.
Because I thought our town, our entire island, was meant to be the defenders of the fortress. Why would there be random goblins?
We
I
defended
mean,
secrets.
this wasn't always his resting place for the fortress, right? I shrug.
I shrug. I don't know. What were the goblins wearing, Neil? How are they equipped?
That's a great question. Now, they're gone. You can't recheck this. So you can dig back into your memory and try and recall what they were wearing. They
They had
weren't
like armor on, it looked like.
I tap
Yeah,
into my
they-
wisdom to try and work it out.
I tap into my wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
He clicks the button, Neil.
No, I don't mean I'm not trying to skip the roleplay. I'm just saying that I do it in a wisdomy way rather than an intelligence way. You know, I try to remember while using wisdom.
And I'm sure, Elijah dips into his dexterity to figure it out too.
Well, no, 'cause
I
that's
dip
big.
into
That's
my
ridiculous.
dexterity
That's
because
ridiculous.
it's the lowest stat. So
Nice.
Zephyr doesn't help.
Now,
because
those,
it's wisdom's perception, right?
no, where there's just no perception.
he's telling you to use your real life brain to remember what the token looked like and figure it out.
Oh, was he?
That's exactly what you're saying.
It
Yeah,
kind of looked like they were wearing like scrappy leather armor.
yeah.
and leather
Looked like
shoes.
it looked like one of them had maybe like a bongo or something. Like looked like some sort of drum, like here, but that might have just been armor. I'm not sure.
But they didn't
They-
look like equipped like an army of defenders.
Well, the last goblins you ran into had a myriad of weapons. Some had little pokey sticks, some had a sledgehammer. It was a variety of gear and absolutely no armor whatsoever. The goblins that you all just fought absolutely had armor and shields and short swords, the whole lot of them. They were like a well-formed unit.
Okay.
What does this mean
Good
anything to
thoughts.
you?
Well, I think what I said and what me and Cedric were talking about is still our best guess.
Yeah, that's our best guess. Is we're getting maybe closer to the fortress. We're encountering.
No, we're being tested, and we're coming up wanted. They're testing us, and they know we're stronger now, and they're testing us harder, and they want us to fail.
Are you talking about the deep state?
The deep ones? Do you know about the deep ones?
We shouldn't talk about them.
What deep ones?
But no,
Wait,
Who are
the
you
first
talking
deep
about
ones.
here?
Whoever is doing this to us, whoever is sending us here, they
Martha?
want us to fail. I don't know.
You need to snap out of it, Zephyr.
Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Half a village gets meteored, and landslide, and goblins appearing and disappearing, and gods falling from the sky. Something is going on here.
I mean, of course. Yeah, I mean, we just met our makers. Of course, something's going on here.
It's fine, guys. Okay, we're skilled fighters. Okay, you have the best rapiersmen in the land with you here. It's gonna be like, I mean, like I've been saying we should get out of here, but like honestly, at this point, I'm kind of thinking this might be like our thing to like be here and defend this place. You know?
I've been telling you that. Yeah, this is a good
Yeah.
place to be.
Like, I mean, I'm just like I just feel like I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like I'm actually like one of the best fighters maybe to have ever come on this island. And like, is that a coincidence that just as the gods come down, I am here? Like, I don't think so, right?
There's no
I
way
don't
that's a
think so either.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Right, Zephyr. So I don't know what you've been thinking, but like us as a group here together, there was something about that, right? And like this fortress and everything, it's not gonna be there without us, you know. So someone's got to defend it. Someone's got to step up. And you're like the best leader I think I've ever had in my life. And if you're not gonna pull through with us here, then how are we gonna direct my amazing fighting
Are
capabilities?
you saying I'm not good enough to lead you?
That's not what he said at all.
I was actually saying I understand how that may have come across, but I was actually saying the exact opposite, Zephyr. I think you're a fantastic leader, and I would be honored to find myself and my past under the guidance of a great warden like yourself.
And Zephyr kind of calms down because she was hearing the voice of criticism in your words, and you successfully calm her down. And I'm like, yeah, no, I am the leader. You're right. I do need to snap out of it. I'm sorry. What's our situation? What do we do? No, I'm supposed to come up with that. Wait, what's our best theory on the goblins?
That there's another entrance to the fortress or something near here. The goblins are being teleported in to protect something near here. That I shrug. That's my best guess so far.
Okay, the goblins came, and Zephyr stands up and looks over this. We're still here, right, in this area.
Yeah.
She stands up and looks over the direction where the goblins came from, and like, where is that on the? Where are we on the world map again?
Yeah. If we come over here to this world map, this island map, which for me is not loading. Is it loading for you?
I have it. Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. We are near the lake. On this map, we're on like the lower left side of the lake.
Lower left, so like down here.
Yeah, like right there.
We're like
yeah.
down here. Okay, and so does that mean the goblins came? I don't know which way the map is oriented. Did the goblins come from like the spine of mountains?
Yeah.
They were coming sort of tangentially along, but you only saw them when they were, 100 feet away. So they actually could have come from practically any direction, but you were coming this way, and they were roughly coming this way.
Okay. Well, we found the entrance. Let's go investigate where the goblins were. See if we can track where they came from.
I think it's still the night before, so let's just let's rest tonight and check in the morning.
Yeah, you're right. No.
Yeah.
Let's rest, recuperate. We'll get our heads together.
God, I know that we can see all right at night, Zephyr, but Elijah and Cedric can't.
Yep. I'll take the first watch.
You sure? Do you want me to stay up with you?
Yes.
All right. I stay up with Zephyr.
I go to bed.
I also go to bed.
We rest. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side. So we are resting overnight. When we wake up in the morning, we're going to assign some XP. It's not enough to level. It's 104 a person. So I'm going to go ahead and jot down 104 experience on your character sheet.
All right.
We're trying out a bunch of new things. Every campaign, we're always playing with old rules and new rules. I'm going to do my best to assign XP as it comes up rather than having to remember.
104 experience is what you said, right?
Yes. Yes. So the next day, we're going to look for the goblins. That's the plan, right? We're going to track them down. We're going to figure out where they were, where they came from, and where they're going.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to pass out some healings in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself 1d8. I'm back to full.
Excellent.
Who else needs HP?
I'm good.
I raise my hand.
Full.
You're full.
How does
damn.
walk us through how Cedric heals someone? Is he like really caring? Is he like really nonchalant about it? Give me a picture here.
Nonchalant. I just grab your hand. Say, hold on for a second.
Gotcha.
Then I'll probably just talk to you about your day. How's it going?
Yeah. Just like really practical
blue aura.
about it.
Yeah, a blue aura, shines out.
Yeah. Nice.
It takes 1 minute per HP, so if he heals you for 5, it's 5 minutes.
Like
of
a 5-minute conversation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to equip my Martha shield. Which is just a shield. So.
Right. You don't need that stretcher anymore, so you can carry your shields on you. And we head in the direction we think the goblins might have come from. Who's taking point in this hike, in this walk?
I will assign. I'll ask. Oh my god! I'll ask Riven to take point.
Okay.
All right, Riven.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we go to the area where the fight was.
Mm-hmm.
And
Look for clues.
Look for clues, yeah.
Okay.
Of which I'm not expecting to find any, really.
There's not much. The goblins aren't here anymore. It's been a night and last afternoon. So whatever grasses might have been bent down by the weight of goblin feet have since sort of sprung back up. You're not a
I
proficient
guess
tracker.
maybe look for remnants of a camp, perhaps.
Okay. So we'll skirt along the area, along the mountains, popping up over hills or down to little valleys. in copses of trees, looking for any spot that you might think would be a good camp spot, just to see if there's any sign of goblin passage anywhere.
Probably
Yeah.
mainly near the mountain. Because
Yeah,
that's
I
where the
would
door
think so.
was. So,
Yeah. Well, this proves quite fruitful. Maybe 4 hours into your day, you come across the charred remains of a campfire. Now, it could be a goblin campfire. It could be a warden campfire. It could be someone else's, but there is a fire, the remains of a fire here. Who has a fire building proficiency? It's someone.
I believe Zephyr has that ability.
Definitely not me, boys.
not me. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll something to recognize it? I have.
No, I don't actually need you to roll anything, unless you really want to roll some dice.
I'm gonna roll that dice.
Roll that dice.
Oh,
Oh!
not 20, baby.
Well, if you're just going to roll a natural 20 on me, then I will give you a little bit more information than I was planning on doing it. This fire is fresh. Not like last night fresh, but the previous day. You're familiar with fire. You're familiar with how it burns, how it eats up wood, what it sort of looks like when it's old. Part of your fire building proficiency is understanding like the life cycle of fire and how you can use charcoal to light things, where you like let something burn partially but not all the way, and that way it's easier to ignite and burns a little bit hotter and has better oxygen airflow and everything. You can take a look at this fire since you're so familiar with them. And it's pretty clear that this hasn't been weathering. Like, it's had one morning's worth of dew on it. It hasn't had a lot of days out here. So this fire, it's not from last night. It's from, like, the previous night. I guess that's 2 mornings of dew.
Okay.
This is a new fire.
It's fresh. I'll let the party know. This is very fresh. Maybe 36 hours maximum.
This might have been where the goblins camped then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I start looking around the camp. We need to look for more clues, like a scrap of meat, bones, anything they might have left behind.
I searched.
Yeah,
All right.
for reference, I said it was about 4 hours. At this pace that you're going, where you're searching everything, 4 hours is about 4 miles. And so you're about 4 miles down the mountain chain, which puts you way over here, actually, on the north side of the mountain. I'm just going to put a little red circle. But if you all want to, that's the wrong side. If you all want to mark this in some way, shape, or form up here for yourself.
Okay, we're up there. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 4-hour walk.
Okay.
Actually, normally 4 hours would get you much farther, but you're taking your time. Like, normally you can go like 2.5 miles an hour in this terrain, but you're searching, so you're going a little bit slower.
Perfect. Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
What do we find in this campsite? I
Well,
search with
in
my
this
half-elven eyes.
Yeah, you can find some skewers, wooden skewers that you might use to like spear a squirrel and then roast it over a fire, or a bird or a fish or anything like that. You're not near any major rivers, like there's no streams where fish would be anywhere near here, but there is the ordinary little wildlife. You do have squirrels on this island. That's an important detail. So someone here
Squirrels
was
are important. Write that down.
roasting animals, seemingly.
So they ate here, and they
Yeah.
caught some food. So someone ate here. But those goblins, they disappeared. Doesn't make sense for them to eat, but I just don't understand. Like, are they even real? What leaves tracks but disappears on death?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I've never seen it before.
Zephyr will in a bit of a moment of desperation, fall to her knees and just pray to all 6 of the gods, being like, what am I being tortured? What is happening? And it's just like, just spends a minute or two just like, God, please give me the strength to uphold my oath and keep these people safe and figure out what the hell this is. And it's not really a request or a plea, it's just a prayer. She's just like, God, this is just so frustrating, and usually problems are straightforward and easy, and this is just, nothing is making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. She says a little prayer.
Okay.
Like, the gods will see us through this.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some magical traces here. If they're magical creatures. But I haven't got detect magic.
That's a good point. I will.
It's
I
only
will
for
spend-
overwhelming magic too.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how it works, right? So I'm going to take the
Yeah.
time to do it anyway.
Yeah. You search out, feeling for magic around you, maybe in your hand, maybe nearby. You're asking the gods for help, asking why these things are happening. A bit of a chill breeze on this November evening, Friday, November 12th, for the people who manage the wiki. And you don't get any response from the gods. You don't get any response from this small bit of magic that you've got that's been endowed into you just a few days ago. No answers to your questions here. Not on this spot, not near this campfire. Not today.
I stand up and I say we need to get moving. We need to keep searching.
Well,
Which way do you
Do you
think is
wanna-
most likely that they came from? I'll ask the party.
Looking at the map.
I mean, it's a good question. Like, if I were to think about it, I mean, like, they could come from the south, probably not, right? But, like, the north, I could, maybe the west, or, like, the east could be possible, too, right? Like,
I mean, they were here.
right.
That was before the gods landed, right? The first time.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, and I just want to piggyback off of what Riven is saying and say that, like, they must have been here, like, for a while, right? Which is why there's a fire.
But
We don't know if this fire is from the goblins.
we saw them here, right?
mm-hmm.
And we've also seen them here. But there was a camp here. Like, if I'm drawing we saw them here, like this part of the town. There was a camp, or we found them here, and there was a camp here. Are they circling the island? Are they patrolling? Like, what is happening? Maybe, are they ancient patrollers?
We should ask people around here if anyone else has seen them, right? Maybe we can complete the map that way. Maybe we know more about their patrol lines that way.
You know, this, like you said, Cedric, this is not necessarily the goblins' camp. Some of the wardens are still missing. Could have been this.
True, but why wouldn't they just go home?
Maybe they were wounded.
We didn't find them when we searched for them either.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's keep searching.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we might as well finish the loop back to Aknora.
Yeah, we finished the loop. We keep going and we're
Right.
searching.
Staying
whole
on the
way.
lowlands, wrapping around the mountains.
Yep.
Oh, you know, sometimes the pink die loves to adjust our probabilities here.
That's the one you want.
Is it good or bad? Wait, don't tell me.
Earlier, when we were doing our character creation sessions, I think in our very first prequel session, I talked about how the wardens make sure to clear certain amounts of foliage to keep line of sight to important areas because you got to keep an eye out on everything. Sometimes you'll cut down like a little swash of trees so that way from like a strategic position, you can like see pathways that people need to walk up. Well, it's one of these a few hours later as the party's rounding the mountainside, rounding the ridge, where you can glance up one of these intentionally deforested areas and see some creatures. Maybe humans, maybe half-elves, maybe goblins. They're just heads, and they look like they're low to the ground, either a short person or maybe somebody who's like trying to stay hidden. And you see them up on the ridgeway. There's like a trail, more or less, that runs along the ridge. It's not quite as peaky as these mountains would have you, as this image would show. But there's like a little winding trail that goes up there, and on that trail, from your position down here, you can spot the movement of multiple heads.
Like, when you say you say heads, you just mean these like floating heads, or we like
you can't see the actual trail itself, but if someone were walking on the trail, you'd be able to see them from like the waist up. And instead what you're seeing is like there's a little bump, and then it's gone for a moment, and then like it pops up again, and then it's gone for a moment. It's almost like the top of someone's head is like coming into view and out of view. So either someone's really small, or someone is trying to crawl around on the mountaintops and remain hidden from view. There's
on
something
top of the mountain.
Yeah, something on the ridgeway, the ridge back of the mountain.
How far away are they?
Maybe like 1,500 feet up the mountain, but you'd have to circle back and go up the trail, so miles away
right.
by foot.
They're ages away. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
Wow.
hours away by foot.
We gotta go
Sure.
check it out.
Yeah, surely the Wardens wouldn't be going up there. Maybe we want to search the top of the mountains.
Well, if they're watching us, they'll notice if we double back. But if we continue on, pass through the town again, and approach the other direction, I mean, I know it's a hell of a hike, but
But if we don't go, we might never find them again. This is the only time we've ever spotted something up there.
I mean,
You're right.
guys.
You're right.
Listen, like, whatever this is, we can take it on. Because I'm starting to feel like we as a group, like, this
do
really
anything.
works out, right? And I think like, if it's kind of our thing, that we like, honestly, if it's just another couple goblins, we just get in there, poke their faces out, it's fine, and then boom. Maybe if we do that, who knows? Maybe this is a test from the fortress, and the fortress will open, huh?
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
You're
But
right.
like
Let's do
also,
it.
just to build on what Elijah said, I mean, who knows what they're doing up there? Maybe we can't afford to wait 6 more hours.
You're right. Let's go now.
Right.
Okay. So hurrying back, we're gonna go back and up the ridge this way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. But now with a little bit more haste this time. It sounds like this. I got the
Quickly.
impression from you that there was some urgency to this.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So we're easier to ambush.
Oh yeah.
Our party picks up the pace and runs back. Oops. It's a little bit too intense. There we go. We come back around the mountain, going quickly, finding the trail that leads up and following it. Now, in the past, you don't have a tracking proficiency. You can't see these things. But in this moment, there's a little creek that you walk over as you're going up this trail. And on the far side of the creek, you can see clear, wet footprints. Even in the winter, that water's going to dry out pretty fast. So whatever left these wet blobs in the earth on the far side of the creek must have done so today. Not just today, but probably within the last hour or two. There are footsteps. Not a lot, and none of you are trackers, so you can't really tell, is it 2 goblins? Is it 3 people? Is it a whole horde, but only so many stepped in the water? Like, you could, in theory, jump over this creek. But there's definite signs of recent passage here.
And there's no way to tell whether it's goblins or humans.
Not without a tracking proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Up
Keep
to you.
pushing. We go.
let's keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
This is our home, and we will defend it.
Yeah.
You get to the
I mean-
rid. Go ahead.
Goblins coming over here, taking all our jobs, you know.
Absolutely.
Trying to do our patrols for us. Like, where do they get off? This
Come
isn't
on
what
over
I
here.
voted for.
You get to the top of the ridge, and you can hear a sound. It sounds like a horrifying, the scream of something in great fear. And then it ends abruptly.
Oh, shit. Well, that's
Continue
slightly
on.
concerning. Yeah.
Listen, guy, about the whole wardens and test. Maybe have you guys considered that maybe the test is to not go into obviously dangerous situations.
You're the best rapier in the world, but just as you said, we got this.
We'll just get a look at it. We'll just get a look and see what's happening.
I hold my shield up and go in.
All right. We progress on the mountainside. I'm just looking for the right token. Thought I had it and I didn't. We move along the mountainside, searching for whatever could be the sound of this crying. Maybe the same thing as these footprints. Who knows what. The trail up here twists and winds. It follows the easiest path. So it's not always at the highest point. Sometimes there's just like craggy rocks that are too difficult to traverse. So the path has to wind around them. So you're coming up the mountain. You're coming around a bend. You can't quite see in front of you. And as Riven, you're the leader here. You're the one in the front.
I guess so, yeah.
You were the one who was assigned to be in the front. Now, are you assigned to this because your life is expendable because Zephyr doesn't get along with you? Or is it because you've got so much con? Or why are you in the front all the time?
I'm not sure I can tell you why I'm always in the front, but the only explanation that makes sense to me is that Zephyr trusts me most.
Oh, that's nice. You hear noises from the area above you, and you can sort of get low as you ascend this slight rise and peek your head over, and you can see a horrific sight before you. There are goblins, yes, but there is a creature, a mythical creature that your mother has told you about that you have never seen yourself. Not a natural thing, but a hideous monster that is used to spook children in the night. It's not that the goblins are going to come and steal your little children away, because that's not a good story to scare a half-elf. What you scare a half-elf with is another half creature. This is an owl bear. And you spot an owl bear at the top of this mountain, the top of this ridge.
Is this our first one?
The
our
owl
first
bear
save or die owl bear?
It might be, yeah.
is currently engaged in combat with a group of goblins.
Owlbears aren't bad, are they?
Mate, they are, yeah. An
Oh,
owlbear
there you
would
go.
destroy us. Oh, you mean evil?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant like as a combat
This is-
enemy.
No.
You
As
know,
a
this
combat
is-
encounter, they're
This is not a
crazy.
regular sight, right? Like this is.
Absolutely not. Owlbears are not native to this island. Not that you would know this, but owlbears are large creatures to begin with. They're very big, and they are a weird monster. Part bear, part bird, massive beak, huge claws, feathers, and fur all rolled into one with incredible strength. It's a bizarre monstrosity if you've ever seen one before. So Riven, you see this and you can, I don't know what you're doing, but the owlbear is currently engaged with the goblins and the goblins are engaged with the owlbear.
I mean, my feeling is to not do anything, right, and just watch. I
Do you-
want to see how it
Tell
how it
anything
goes.
to the rest of your party?
Well, are they making noise? They're being quiet, right? I don't think I need to tell them. I think they'll see it as soon as they're around the corner.
So you hold your position as the party
Yeah.
begins to ascend, and everyone can sort of peer over at this little spot.
Holy shit! What the fuck is that?
What the?
I've got. It's
we have to help it.
Listen, no, this is. We need to leave. Cause
I
like
think Elijah might be right on this one. We can't fight that.
I'm not saying I couldn't fight it, but like my hip situation ever since that last fight has really been like acting up, and I just think we should probably take
Let's
a.
Elijah,
I say back up.
I love you,
back
but
up, back up. Troops, back up. Back up.
Oops, that is the wrong scream.
Well, don't
I
we
tell
have to
everyone.
help it?
I tell everyone to back up. and
help it. I don't think it needs our help.
I would like to stand and like. I want to hide
I'll
and
stay
observe.
next to you, yeah.
Say,
One
"Get to
goblin
cover. Get to cover.
Gets swatted by the owlbear and drops.
Does
it
it
moves to the
disappear?
next one. Yes,
Does it
it
disappear,
disappears. The owlbear moves to the next one, and with another swipe of the claws, smashes another goblin, who screams and dies, bringing the last goblin in melee up to attack the owlbear with
Wait, there's one
a
more
critical
down there.
hit. That one's shooting with bows and arrows.
Oh, I see. I thought you just meant it was the last goblin.
No, last melee goblin. The goblin will crit the owlbear for enormous damage, driving its short sword home
Holy
through
shit.
most of it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was a critical hit. It was good.
Ow.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We need to save the bear.
That's what I'm saying.
This
You're right.
archer shoots at the owlbear.
As soon as it's
misses.
done with the goblins.
This one up here takes a shot at the owlbear, but same firing into melee rules. Hits this goblin in the back, but lands in the armor, doing no damage.
Did you roll?
It looks like you have rolled into initiative. Is anyone else rolling into initiative?
I rolled in.
I would just say, Neil, the owlbear counts as 2.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you
Firing into
Oh, I
melee,
know.
yeah.
It's a size large creature. It has 2.
is Cedric communicating anything to us?
Where are you? You're next to us, right?
Yep.
The commander said that we need to go save the owlbear.
Fuck
I
me.
find that to be a very strange decision.
All
The
right.
enemy
Well,
of
the
my
party's
enemy is
rolled
my
in.
friend.
We're at the top of the initiative order. Riven, did you retreat down the hill?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're up first. Your call.
I hold my action. I'm going to use my sling. I'm not casting a spell. I hold it until somebody else acts.
You cannot actually. This is a rise, so you can't actually get good line of sight on anything other than this guy right here. If you want to be able to
well,
fire
fuck
at
it.
people, you need to move up.
Okay, I spend my turn getting up here then.
All right.
Yeah.
The goblin down here will take a shot, at least striking at the owlbear with 13, 14, 15. Ah, it's a hit. Wow, this goblin's doing great for 2 damage against the owlbear. The
That's not
goblin
bad.
in melee. Why is this goblin meleeing an owlbear? Can anyone tell me that? That's a
he's
great
beast.
question.
He's just almost one-shot
Dumb
it.
fuck, yeah.
He's the warrior god goblin.
Stabs it again
Oh my
for
God!
3 points of damage.
Jesus.
The owlbear will turn, take 1 claw that rakes across the goblin for 6 points of damage, sending the goblin into some nether realm from which there is no more escape. And leaving us with, actually, no, not leaving us with anything, because the owlbear then turns and at this guy, taking a second attack, which will hit for 6 damage, not quite killing this guy, and then
Oh my
taking a
God.
beak attack, which is a natural 20,
Oh my
against
God.
the
Eating
goblin,
him.
with his half of his body.
which does 4d6 damage on a crit. I'm actually out of d6s. Wow.
That's a scary thing for a DM to say.
Yeah. Slaughtering the goblin who vanishes from before you, leaving us with Elijah's turn. All right, buddy, go get the owlbear.
I'm gonna move here towards where Riven is and just kind of back up and watch.
Yeah.
Zephyr, gotta
I say,
lead by instruction or by demonstration.
Cedric,
example?
stay with me, and I move to the goblin on the rock. Can I reach him from the ground?
Absolutely, yeah.
I move
Fuck him
forward
up.
and I attack him. So
Fuck
give me a
yeah.
token. Oh, you got him.
Oh my God, this.
I am-
You
So-
close
I-
with the goblin.
I am chanting the blah 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 of -1 hit.
Okay, roll the hit.
Hiya! 19.
It's a beautiful blow. In fact, it's a critical. Even with -1 to hit, you still bring that arming sword of yours up through the goblin's legs.
Wha-bam! 9 damage.
Oh my god.
Damn, there's been so
And
many crits tonight.
Immediately, the goblin vanishes.
Cedric
Just
to me.
disappears.
I call Cedric over to me.
Cedric would do it.
Defend me.
Oh, I'm just
It was
letting you know.
nice.
Neil
I like
is gonna
stick
kill
close.
you.
We need to
It
look
was nice
big.
knowing you two.
No, I
I
say
prepare. I ready an attack.
You ready to
Stick close, we
attack?
need to look big to it.
Yeah, I ready an
All
attack
right.
in case the owlbear comes to kill us.
Riven.
I'm gonna. Can I? I can ready a shot, can't I?
A sling? Yeah, as long as it's readied for a specific thing, like at the owlbear
Yeah.
if it attacks my allies.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna shoot the owlbear if it attacks my allies.
Great. The owlbear turns and begins to run at your allies.
Okay, I shoot it.
Come on,
Roll the
Nick.
hit.
Don't worry, it's a flank attack.
Yep.
It's a +1 right there. We're adding that +1 in, baby.
Yep.
Okay.
Come on, Nick.
And we're killing the elbow with this one, so... Oh,
Whoosh, the sling stone goes wide. The owlbear closes.
Ready to
Cedric,
attack?
ready to
kill
attack.
it.
Yes!
It's a hit. It's just barely a
Great!
hit.
I really needed that.
damage.
He was gonna kill us.
Roll the owlbear, who dies with a cry
And
Vanishes?
and disappears.
Okay.
Ooh,
What is going on?
That was gonna kill us. Holy
that was
shit!
so close. Look at the size of this thing.
It's
I
gone. It
will-
disappeared.
Holy shit. We did it, guys.
Nice work, Elijah.
I look at my sword. Is there blood on it?
No. It's bloodless now.
Is my mace
I
bloody?
love this
Nope.
dynamic, how Riven
Okay.
just completely just lets Elijah live in his delusions the entire time. It's so good.
That's what it means to be supportive
Yeah.
in this day and age.
Yeah.
What is?
That was what
we
the
need.
what
we
was
can't
that?
stop here.
That was crazy.
I can't.
We should search around here.
These are.
Who knows?
I
Yeah,
think
we should search, but be careful.
it feels like echoes of the past or something. Something I don't understand.
Echoes of the past.
I'd like it to be known. I killed my first owlbear.
Well done.
Fuck yeah.
First time you saw one too.
Ever, yeah.
The first
Wanna
owlbear
know.
you have seen in
In
game?
D&D? Yeah, easily.
We've been playing together for years. How have you never fought an owlbear before?
You've never tossed one. I've fought yetis. Those are pretty cool. Never an owlbear.
I mean, +5 to hit, 5d8 plus 2 HP, 3 attacks.
It
Let's
was
do
about
d6,
5
d6, and
seconds away
2d6.
from wrecking us.
Yeah. This owlbear must have rolled shitty HP.
The goblin rolled really well on damage, and the owlbear did roll not great HP.
I think we should stay on top of the mesa and search the ceiling, for lack of a better word. The top floor.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Right. We proceed down the trail, same order,
Yeah.
full resources, full HP, full MP.
There is a path down near Aknara, right? Because that's where we went up to watch the sunset that night. So we can follow this to Aknara and then we could go back down.
The trail are on either end of the ridge.
Oh, okay.
So from Aknara, you went around like this.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can just do the whole thing then. It's still relatively early in the day or not?
4, 5, 6. It's been 7 hours since you left camp, so we're getting well past the middle of the day. Not quite evening.
What do we think? Are we okay camping up here?
What sorry, what exactly time is it again?
It's like 2:30, 3:30, something like that.
We're low on food, but we have to see this through.
I mean, from your position, if you wanted right now to turn back, you could be home in 2.5 hours. If you wanted to go all the way down the ridge and back, you could be home in 4 hours. So like,
Oh, that's fine.
yeah.
We press on.
Yeah.
All right. We walk along the ridge. There's more twists, more turns, open spots where you can look down to Aknara. And from this great distance, it's hard to make out anything more than little fleas moving down there, but it looks like the city is busy and bustling. There's no signs of ships in the bay or anything like that.
That's good.
But
Yeah.
something you do notice is there's a little bit of gray smoke rising from the mountain in front of you, from along this trail, along this ridge.
All right,
There's an
good.
active campfire up there.
I think we have to go check it out.
Yep.
We need to
Yeah.
be careful and we need to be quiet.
Absolutely.
Riven, I
Yes.
want you, at some point, you're going to get close enough that Riven's, being the leader, the scout, I should say, is going to have to move ahead on their own. I'm going to need you to make me
Wisdom check.
a...
A wisdom check, yeah. If it's a dex check, then in the future Elijah should be our scout.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a dex check, yeah.
Damn it. You sure it's not wisdom? The wisdom to be quiet, right?
I'm sure.
It would be. It would be a lack of wisdom to be loud in this situation, wouldn't
Just roll the dexterity check. You're gonna roll a 20.
I'm gonna nat it.
it? Boom.
Excellent. You can creep up a ridge and see what appears to be a small horde of goblins, maybe 10 of them. It's hard to tell because they have felled some trees up here, and it looks like they are assembling some sort of structure, some sort of wall out of like felled trees.
Okay, I turn back around
Oh,
and
I
I
was,
go back to the path. Oh,
I was about to ask you to make a wisdom check, but you moved back before.
No, I'm rolling it. It's too late.
You'll notice this isn't the first time you've seen goblins in the last few days.
Correct.
And something that you're pulling out from them is that they appear to be really uncomfortable. Like, this is not... I know these goblins are doing hard work, and those goblins were fighting an owlbear, and the other goblins were fighting you, and each time you come across them, it's a high-stress situation. But these ones that are just sort of laboring seem to be almost like withering, like they are in active, a small amount of active suffering. There's
That's
something
strange.
wrong with them.
I head back to the party and I say, there's like a big group of like maybe like 10 of them. They've chopped down some trees. It looks like they're building like a tower or something, a fort.
Like 10?
Yeah, like 10, yeah.
And I think this is where we end for the day.
All right.
I think we come back next week with more Floating Fortress. And what the hell are these goblins building? Maybe these goblins are building the Floating Fortress.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.